Squad Cars, probably one of the most popular radio programs ever broadcast in South Africa. Week by week, a dramatised story of the South African police at work would unfold. The series originally went out for broadcast on Sunday evenings. After 6 months, the program moved to its familiar Friday night 7:30 p.m. slot on Springbok radio. Because of the popularity of the Friday night Western series on South African television at the same time slot as Squad Cars, the series moved to 8:30 p.m. when the series came to an end. 2 attempts were made to take the series to the screen. In 1974, a film called A Flying Squad went onto the South African film circuit, followed in 1978 with a television series called Big City Heat. Neither of these shows were great successes. The masses still preferred to listen to the original on radio.
Squad Cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved. General Motors and their dealer organizations throughout Southern Africa proudly bring you the drama, the danger, the thrills, and the facts when the long arm of the law travels in Squad Cars.
Johannesburg, October the 31st, 10:35 p.m. A squad car containing Constables Frank and Bannon is driving down Athol Oaklands Road in a northeasterly direction.
Hang on, Peter. Let's turn left into Melrose Street. Go through the bird sanctuary. They're always dumping stolen cars down there.
Right.
Not too fast. It's very dark down here.
I should think this is one of the last areas of Johannesburg without streetlights.
So they couldn't very well install street lighting here.
Why not?
It's a bird sanctuary, man. Scare all the birds away.
Yeah, didn't think of that.
Haven't you ever been here?
No. I don't care much for birds.
Not the feathered variety, eh?
No.
The entrance is just down here over the bridge, on the right.
Right, shall we go in?
Yes, you never know. See what I mean?
Yes. There's a car there, all right. Maybe just a courting couple.
Let's go and have a look. Got your torch?
Yes.
If it is a couple necking, we'll warn them that it's not safe in such a secluded spot.
What sort of car is it?
It's one of these new things, Fleetwing.
Very smart with its wet-wall tires and all.
See anybody?
No.
Shine your torch.
No!
Peter! I'm it. Get down before they eat you too.
Hold off fire! It's the police!
God, must return the fire. Getting away. Peter? Peter! Let's get after them. Get to the car. Oh, my leg. Peter. Peter, it's me. Benny. Peter. He's dead. Must try and drag myself to the car. Never be able to drive with this leg. Can put a call out, though. Must get to the radio before that car gets any distance away. When he drove out of the gate, he turned as though to go up to Oxford Road. Here we are. Hope I can reach to open the door. And now, the radio. Drag myself inside. There. Number 23. Number 23. Number 23 to control. Come in. Over.
Control to car 23. I'm receiving you. Over.
I'm wounded at the entrance of the Melrose Bird Sanctuary. Constable Bannon is dead. I'm unable to pursue our attackers. They went off in the direction of Oxford Road. They're driving a Fleetwing. It's difficult to see in the dark, but I think the color is pale blue. I fired after it a couple of times. Whether I hit it or not, I don't know. Over.
To all cars in the northern suburbs, be on the lookout for a Fleetwing thought to be pale blue. The occupants are wanted in connection with the murder of a policeman. They are to be stopped and detained. They are armed and dangerous. State your position, number 7. Over.
Number 7 to control. We're driving east up Turret Avenue. We'll be in Oxford Road in a few moments. Over.
Message received and understood. Control to car 29. Come in, number 29. Over.
29 to control. I'm receiving you. Over.
State your position. Over.
We have just passed Wits University. Converging on Oxford Road as fast as possible. Over.
Good. Car 12. Control to car 12. Come in. Over.
Car 12 to control, receiving you. Over.
Where are you, number 12? Over.
Out at Sandown, but we can be in the Oxford Road area in a minute or two. Over.
Quick as you can, number 12. Control to car 23. 23. Come in. Over.
23 to control. I'm receiving you. Over.
We're sending an ambulance to you right away. We will also send a car to your assistance. Just sit tight. Over.
Car 23 to control. Received. Over and out.
11:46 p.m. Lieutenant Opperman of the murder squad Brixton arrives at the scene of the shooting.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sergeant. Bad business, eh?
Yes, sir.
Where's the body?
This way, sir.
They've got the other chap to hospital, eh?
That's right, sir.
Badly hurt?
Top of his leg smashed.
Poor devil.
Plucky chap, though, sir. He only passed out once they got him on the stretcher.
Casualty ward at the General.
Yes, sir.
I'll go and have a word with him later.
Here's the body of Constable Bannon, sir. Look at that. Got it smack in the chest.
Not much blood.
Not on the front, sir, but you should see the hole where the bullet came out.
Poor devil. Have they picked that car up yet?
No, not yet, sir. A tight net of squad cars was drawn up around the area as quickly as possible, but not one of them caught so much as a glimpse.
Pity.
Yes, sir.
What was the wounded chap's name?
Constable Frank, sir.
Did you speak to him?
Ah, yes, sir. I was here before the ambulance.
Was he able to tell you anything?
Yes, sir. He pointed out where the car with a killer in it was parked.
They were making a routine investigation, weren't they?
Yes, sir. They saw this big car parked under the willow tree over there, sir. The grass is still crushed from the weight of the wheels.
Nobody's been walking around there to disturb anything.
No, sir.
Well, let's have a look. Put your headlights on, will you, Sergeant, please?
Right, sir.
Then we'll be able to see what we're doing.
Better, sir?
Yes, thank you, Sergeant.
Well, I should think this is going to be a hard one for you, sir.
Certainly not much to go on at the moment. All we know is that the car was a Fleetwing, possibly light blue.
Slim evidence, sir.
Not much of a start, I must say. Now then, let's have a look.
Now, there's the impression the wheels left, sir.
Was it parked with its nose towards the gate, did Constable Frank say?
Yes, he did, sir, and it was.
So, unless it was a left-hand drive vehicle, the driver would be on this side, here, nearest Constable Bannon and Frank.
That's right, sir.
The squad car's parked over there, so I presume the crew walked straight here.
Yes, I suppose so, sir.
And Constable Bannon was hit when he was about 6 or 7 yards from his destination. Well, there's nothing obvious to be seen. On your hands and knees, Sergeant, with your torch. I want this area worked over with a fine tooth comb.
Very good, sir. And what are we looking for?
I don't know. Anything.
Right, sir.
You take what would be the near side of the vehicle, and I'll search the grass on the driver's side.
Right, sir.
It's unlikely that there'd be anything underneath the car, so search the area around it. And don't be in too much of a hurry. I want every inch covered.
November the 1st, 12:21 a.m. On aching knees, Lieutenant Opperman and the sergeant have covered half the area they'd set themselves to search. Suddenly...
Here we are.
Me too, sir. At least I think so.
What have you got?
Here we are, sir. A stompy.
Let's have a look. Thanks. A Premier with lipstick. Tangerine-colored lipstick. Just the one.
Well, so far, sir.
It doesn't necessarily follow that it was thrown out by somebody in the motor car. These are expensive cigarettes, aren't they?
Oh, yes, sir.
Mind you, they were in a Fleetwing.
It could have been a stolen car, sir.
True.
What did you find, sir?
This,
Yeah. A .32 cartridge case.
which suggests that the murder weapon was a pistol.
Yes, sir.
There must be another somewhere around here. At least 2 shots were fired. Help me look, Sergeant.
Right, sir.
1:17 a.m. Having satisfied himself that there was nothing more to be gained from remaining at the scene of the murder, Lieutenant Opperman drives to the Johannesburg General Hospital and speaks to the wounded policeman, Constable Frank.
What are they doing for you, Constable?
They've given me something for the pain, sir, and they're going to operate just now.
I wish you luck.
Thank you, sir.
What did you see in the bird sanctuary? I know about the car. What else did you see?
I didn't see anything. It was too dark.
Didn't you see the silhouettes of the people in the car? Or what could have been faces?
No, sir.
Absolutely nothing?
Nothing, sir.
What about a flash from the gun?
Oh, yes, sir. I saw that all right. 2 flashes. Heard the bangs, too.
What else did you hear?
Well, sir, the car, when it started up.
You were walking towards the car, and without warning, shots were fired at you.
Yes, sir. No. Wait a minute, sir.
Yes?
Somebody shouted at us.
Man or woman?
It was a man's voice, sir.
What did he say?
He shouted, no.
So, there was an English-speaking man in there. Bantu or European?
European, sir.
I won't keep you much longer.
That's all right, sir.
Who was hit first?
Constable Bannon, sir.
And then you?
Yes, sir.
What did you do then?
Well, sir, the car started up, and by that time I had my revolver out when I opened fire.
Were you lying down at the time?
Yes, sir.
What did you shoot at?
The driver's window.
Are you a good shot?
I'm a member of the pistol club, sir.
Yes. What happened next?
The car pulled away, sir, and I fired after it.
Do you think you hit it?
Positive, sir.
Whereabouts?
It'd be somewhere in the boot, sir. Low down. I was aiming for the offside back tire. You will get him, won't you, sir?
We'll try.
Constable Bannon was a good policeman, sir. He was my partner.
I'm afraid you'll have to go now, Lieutenant.
All right, sister.
And you, young fellow, we'll soon have you as right as rain.
8:15 a.m. Lieutenant Opperman has been called to the Brigadier's office. He sits on the other side of the big desk.
How are you getting on, Lieutenant?
Not doing badly, sir. These are the facts. The car's a Fleetwing, possibly light blue in color. It held an English-speaking European man who possesses a .32 pistol. Possibly the car held a woman who smokes Premier cigarettes. The car, wherever it is, probably has a broken driver's window, either broken or starred with a bullet hole, and a bullet hole somewhere in its rear, perhaps in the fender area or low down on the boot.
Not a bad night's work.
No, sir.
What's your next course of action?
There's a chance that the vehicle was stolen. I've already asked Warrant Officer Libber of the stolen vehicle staff to check that for me.
Good. Anything else?
Well, they're both long shots, sir, but I've rushed the .32 cartridge case to the ballistics staff, and from here I'm going down with a squad of men to check on all the panel beaters. Nobody's going to want to drive around in a big car like that with bullet holes.
Johannesburg and its environs, 9:37 a.m. Lieutenant Opperman and his team of detectives from the murder squad begin a systematic visit to every known panel beater.
Good morning. I'm a police officer. Have you had a Fleetwing? We think it's pale blue brought in. It'll probably require a new driver's window, and there'll be some damage to fix somewhere at the back.
If you have a Fleetwing coming for fixing, new driver's window and a hole in the boot, a bullet hole, you're to phone this number and ask for Lieutenant Opperman.
Afternoon. If a car with bullet holes pitches up for repairs, you're to contact the murder squad. You look tired, Lieutenant.
I am, sir. My feet and legs feel as though they don't belong to me.
Any luck?
Nothing yet, sir. My squad worked very hard, and we covered the Johannesburg area very thoroughly.
Good. But you realize that they may try to have the work done out of town. They may realize that panel beaters in Johannesburg have been alerted.
That had occurred to me, sir. I've already asked the Major to alert garages and panel beaters in the outlying districts through every police station.
Good.
Personally, I don't think it's going to be long before something happens.
Why are you so confident?
Bullet holes in a car are very distinctive. Sooner or later, somebody somewhere is going to ask some embarrassing questions. Embarrassing for the vehicle's driver, that is.
True.
So I figure it won't be long before something's done about it. In other words, before a garage or panel beater is approached and asked to fix it.
Yes, seems logical.
Of course, there's always the possibility that the man we're after is a panel beater himself, and he'll fix it himself.
I'd say the odds are against that.
I'd say so too, sir.
Well, you've put in a good day's work.
Thank you, sir. Have you any news?
Yes. Here's the report from the Criminal Bureau of Pretoria. It incorporates a ballistics report on that cartridge case and a note from the fingerprint section. As you'll see, the scratches on the case of the mark made by the ejection mechanism are conducive to having been caused by a .32 Behringer.
Nice work.
Yes, they haven't wasted much time. The fingerprint report isn't as promising.
Dead end there, sir, eh?
Afraid so. Good news from the hospital. The operation on Constable Frank was a success. They say his condition is satisfactory.
Glad to hear it.
And more good news. The surgeon removed the bullet from Constable Frank's leg. That's gone to the Criminal Bureau, too. We should be hearing from them first thing in the morning.
Good, sir.
There's not much you can do at the moment, Lieutenant. Why don't you go off home for a bit?
Thank you, sir.
6:41 p.m. Lieutenant Opperman, having eaten, is in the shower when his wife calls.
Darling,
Yes?
phone for you.
Is it the office?
I don't think so.
Tell them I'm coming.
All right. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Please. Lieutenant Opperman?
I was asked to phone you in connection with a car.
Yes? Who's speaking, please?
My name's Holtman. I'm the manager of Aiken's Motor Trim. We're in Nugget Street, the South End.
Yes?
I think I got the car you're after. It came in late this afternoon.
Pale blue Fleetwing.
That's right. White wall tires. There's a hole in the driver's window and another one next to the offside tail light.
I'll be right over.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
I'll be there in 20 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Here's your coffee.
Haven't time. Keep it for later.
7:05 p.m. Lieutenant Opperman arrives at Aitken's Motor Trim and makes himself known to the manager, Mr. Holtman.
Yeah, it was brought in by a chauffeur at about 10 to 5.
Non-European?
Yeah, very smart, in uniform.
Were you expecting the car?
A man had phoned just after lunch. He said there were a couple of things needed fixing on his car and could he send it round. Said he'd pay cash for the job.
Did he give his name?
Called himself Patterson. Sent this note with the driver.
Thanks. Dear sirs, here with my car for repairs, which I spoke to you about earlier this afternoon. Please tell the driver when he can collect the vehicle. Thanking you, yours faithfully, R. Patterson. I'll keep this if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Here's the car. Looks like it was shot at to me.
That wouldn't be far from the truth.
Yeah, here's a new window. I put a patch on this hole here. See?
Yes. Can you open the boot?
Oh, yeah, sure. Keys. What are you looking for?
The bullet that made the hole. It'll be in the tire here, in the spare. I'll take that if you'll just pull it out.
Sure.
And while we're about it, I think we'll have a look in the ashtray. Now then. Ashtray. Full. That must be why she threw it out of the window. A stompy. Yes. 2 or 3 Premier butt ends, and all lipsticked. Right shade, too. We're doing better than I thought.
Can I help you?
I'll be sending for this car first thing in the morning. Just let me make a note of the registration number. There we are. We'll put that spare in my car outside.
All right, sure.
You've been a big help, Mr. Holtman. Thanks very much.
Pleasure. What's it all about, anyway?
I'm not quite sure. I should know tomorrow.
9:34 p.m. Having driven with a spare wheel to the Criminal Bureau, Pretoria, Lieutenant Opperman returns to his home.
Alida! Alida! Oh, a note. I've gone to the drive-in with Henny and Rita. A woman phoned while you were out. She said it was something to do with the death of Constable Bannon. She wouldn't leave her name and number. She said she'd phone again later. Lieutenant Opperman?
Are you the police officer in charge of investigations into the shooting of that policeman in the bird sanctuary?
Yes.
Oh, good. I got your name and telephone number from the paper.
What can I do for you?
You can put an end to all this misery. It's taken a lot of thought for me to arrive at this decision. I couldn't bear it. It's like a nightmare. The man you want is Mr. Roger Padgham.
Oh? How do you know?
I was in the car with him. He's Mr. Padgham from the big store. He's one of the sons. We're not married, you see. At least not to each other. We were in the car together. The police arrived, and Roger thought that we'd be arrested for indecency or something. He panicked, and before I could stop him, he shot the policeman. You've no idea what agony my conscience is causing me. I'm glad it's over.
What's your name, madam?
My name is of no consequence. I'm not afraid for myself, but I don't want my husband caught up in a scandal.
I see.
Now that I've spoken to you, I'm going to phone Roger and tell him what I've done. Goodbye and thank you.
Wait! Lost. She might have been some crank, but better check. The names are different, Patterson and Padgham. But the initials are the same, RP. Two things I can check. The registration number of that car, find out the owner that way, and check with Marshall Square about the firearms that Padgham owns.
The registered owners of TJ255697 are Padghams. It's a company car.
Padgham, Roger. Number 3A, first close, Sandown, Transvaal. 1 hunting rifle, Magnum 375. Sporting shotgun and a Behringer .32 pistol.
And that's it, sir. You know as much as I do.
I congratulate you, Lieutenant.
Thank you, sir. I thought we'd better check. It's all very well getting a tip-off like that, but she could have been someone a little touched in the head.
Yes, it wouldn't be the first time. Your next move?
2 little pieces to be fitted into the puzzle. If it's all right with you, sir, I've asked for a call I'm expecting from the Criminal Bureau, Pretoria, to be put through here to your office.
Perfectly all right.
It's about that bullet they took from the spare wheel.
Brigadier Raderman. Yes, just hold on a moment. He's right here. It's for you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yes? They were the same, were they? Good. Thanks very much. Yes, send it over. Thank you. Goodbye. Just to prove that the car Constable Frank shot at and the one owned by Padghams are one and the same vehicle.
Go in.
Excuse me, sir?
Yes, Sergeant, what is it?
Lieutenant Opperman asked for a call to be put through to the transport manager of Padgham, sir.
Yes?
The car he was inquiring about is driven by Mr. Roger Padgham, sir.
Thank you.
Right, sir.
Seems pretty conclusive, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Go and pick him up.
November the 2nd, 10:05 a.m. Lieutenant Opperman arrives at Padgham's, makes his way to the floor containing the suite of offices used by Mr. Roger Padgham, one of the company's directors. He presents his credentials to the secretary in the outer office.
Yes?
And I'd like to see Mr. Padgham.
Oh, is it urgent? Mr. Padgham said he didn't wish to be disturbed.
He'll see me.
Oh, just hold on a moment. Mr. Padgham?
Yes?
There's a policeman here to see you, a Lieutenant Opperman. He says he has to see you.
Tell him I shan't be a minute.
Yes, Mr. Padgham. If you'll just take a seat.
Thank you.
Would you like some tea or coffee?
Oh, no, thanks.
Oh, I nearly jumped out of my skin. What was that?
If you were to call Mr. Padgham on that intercom thing, I don't think he'd answer.
Lieutenant Opperman went into Padgham's office and found a man's body sprawled in an executive chair. A .32 Behringer pistol hung by the trigger guard on one of the man's fingers. The secretary identified the body as Padgham's. And so ended a tragic case. A case sparked off by an illicit love affair. A case which cost 2 lives. The woman involved was never identified. But Lieutenant Opperman knows that somewhere in South Africa, there's a woman with a very guilty conscience. A woman who leaves traces of tangerine lipstick on Premier cigarettes.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting. In fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars. Listen again next Friday evening to another authentic story in our dramatic South African police series, Squad Cars, brought to you by General Motors, makers of the biggest and most exciting range of cars in the world. Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Beaumont, Chevrolet, Opel, Holden, Vauxhall, Bedford, GMC commercial vehicles, and Ranger. South Africa's own car. Squad cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved.
Johannesburg, April the 17th, 2 p.m. Constable Johnny Wilson is standing at the notice board in radio headquarters. He is looking at the names on the duty roster. He is particularly concerned with the name that appears alongside his own as the crew member of Car 17.
F. Rittenberg. Who's Rittenberg?
Here.
Ah, Constable Wilson.
Oh, I wonder what you look like. Pleased to meet you.
How do you do? What's the F for?
France. They call me Francie.
Uh-huh. Oh, my name's Johnny.
I guessed if I just stood around, you'd make yourself known to me.
First shift, eh?
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah. Been looking forward to this all through police college.
Yeah, I remember how it was with me.
What this 2 till 10 shift like?
How do you mean?
A lot of action.
Oh, sometimes. Depends. Well, one thing I can promise you won't be bored.
Do you get called to murders and things?
Oh, sometimes. Variety is the spice of life in this job. Last week, Henk and I almost had to deliver a baby in the back seat.
Henk?
My ex-partner.
What happened to him? Did he get hurt?
Oh, no. He's been transferred. His father died and his mother's an invalid. And they live at Reddersburg in the Free State, farming people. And Henk didn't like the idea of his mother being alone. Well, she just couldn't be, too ill. So he requested a transfer.
Were you together long?
Nearly a year.
You'll miss him.
Yeah. You get used to people.
Is he a good policeman?
Yeah, one of the best.
He's going to be hard to live up to.
You'll be all right. Come on.
Where are we going?
Well, we must start the shift with a full tank of petrol. Check the oil and water, too.
8:50 p.m., Constables Wilson and Rittenberg have pursued a vehicle, the occupants of which were behaving in a suspicious manner, and are returning to the central area via the Rand Airport Road.
Poor bloke got the shock of his life.
Serves him right. It obviously wasn't his wife.
Obviously.
I'll bet he thought we were the woman's husband.
Well, he was a bit pale around the gills, wasn't he?
White as a sheet. I don't know how people could be like that.
You're young. You'll learn a lot of things before you're much older.
Yeah, I suppose so. Hey. What's that light over there?
Where?
Over there, in the veldt.
They must be burning grass.
Can't be. Too early. Besides, it's only in one place.
Oh, probably a night watchman who's lit a fire to keep warm.
That's open veldt. What would a watchman be doing out there? And it's not cold enough for a fire.
Not bad. You've learned a lot at the college, eh?
I think we should go and take a look.
Yeah, okay. I'll be able to see that fire for miles.
Yeah. I wonder what's burning. Too big a fire for wood or grass.
Yeah. Looks more like a chemical fire. Plastics or petrol.
We'll soon see. There's a gate over there.
Which somebody has left open.
Mind there's sump on that rock.
I'll watch it.
It's a fire in an oil drum.
It's enormous, too.
Better not park too close. May explode or something.
Yeah, and we don't want the car catching fire. We'd have a tough time explaining that in a report.
Leave a log for it's hot.
Yeah, but it won't last long. Petrol fire.
Can you see in?
No, not properly. Now, there's something in there.
Yeah, it looks like Looks like a bundle of old rags or something.
Yeah. Now, hang on a sec. Now, come and look from here. Now, look at that. What do you make of it?
It's
a foot. A human foot. Well, we've got to put this fire out, boy.
Oh.
Well, I'll push the drum over for a start.
You'll get burnt, man.
No, not if I crouch down. Oh, but it's hot. A good hard shove with my foot is all that's needed.
Nice work, Johnny.
Now, come and help me put the fire out.
What with?
We'll scratch up some sand and gravel. We shouldn't have much trouble now that I've turned it over. Now, that's it. Now, get a pile of stuff together and we'll throw it in when we've got enough. Huh? And smother the flames.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
Right. Great. Now, where's your torch, Franz?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Dear heaven. Oh, poor devil.
European or non-European?
European. Man.
Gee. It's horrible, eh?
Yeah. I've seen some things, but never one like this before.
Body can't have been in the drum long.
No. It's not long since we drove past here, going up the road towards the race course.
They must have been doing it, putting the body in the drum, I mean, when we drove past.
Yeah. Well, help me tip it up.
It's hot, man.
Yeah, it's too hot to handle. Yeah, I'll better report what we found. I'll go and talk to control, Franz. You have a look around, eh?
Okay, Johnny.
And just be careful not to disturb any prints, eh?
Okay.
17 to control. Car 17 to control. Come in, control. Over.
Go ahead, 17. Over.
Reporting the discovery of a European body being burnt in an oil drum. Location? The veldt on the left-hand side of the Rond Airport Road coming out of town. It's about a mile from the Heidelberg Road. Over.
Stay where you are and await further instructions. Over and out.
What did they say?
We've got to stick around.
They'll be sending somebody, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Who?
Well, it'll be somebody from the murder squad in Brixton. Probably Lieutenant Loboskakny.
9:53 p.m. Lieutenant Loboskakny, having been called away from a drive-in movie, arrives at the scene of the gruesome discovery.
Good evening, sir.
Constable?
Constables Wilson and Rittenberg, sir.
Good evening, Constable. Sir? Where is it?
Over here, sir. As soon as the drum was cool enough, sir, we tipped it out.
Oh, fine. Not the prettiest corpse I ever saw. Couldn't have been burning long before you found it.
Oh, no, sir. That's what we figured.
It was you who put the fire out, eh?
Yes, sir.
Nice work.
But how on earth will you find anything to help you among this lot, sir?
I don't know. I'm just looking. It seems like a pathologist's nightmare. They've had worse than this, though.
Really, sir?
Oh, yes. Did you find anything?
Well, Constable Rittenberg found some footprints and tie marks, sir.
Where are they, Constable? Over here, sir. Yeah. This is where they parked the car. Just give me your torch, please. Here you are, sir. Thank you. Two sets of prints, eh? Yes, sir. Man and woman. European or non-European? I don't know, sir. Neither do I. Teasing you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A pretty business for a woman to be involved in, isn't it, Constable? Yes, sir. Well, we'll have those photographs, those prints and the tire marks, and I'll have members of my staff make plaster casts of them in the morning. There's not much I can do here tonight. In the morning, that drum and its contents will be properly cool. And there'll be light to work in, too. I'll arrange for you two to be relieved. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
April the 17th, 8:10 a.m. Lieutenant Dirk Loboskakny has returned to where the body in the oil drum was discovered, along with various members of his staff. While photographs and plaster casts are being taken, Lieutenant Officer Cockney and Warrant Officer Britt are sieving the ash from the drum and the dust in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, there won't be much in this lot. No, sir. What time is the district coroner coming?
He should have been here by now.
I've got hold of Professor Quayle. He's helped us before.
Yes. I remember the professor, sir.
Oh, he did a fantastic job reconstructing that skeleton we found down the well.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, he was able to tell us that it was the skeleton of a woman who'd had at least 3 children and limbs.
Yeah, but what staggered me was the way he figured out the angle of the shots that killed her.
He's something of a genius, the professor.
Nice chap, too. Nice sense of humor.
Hang on a sec. What's that?
Buckle, sir.
Put it out.
Here you are, sir.
Stick it in this envelope. Shouldn't think that'll tell us much, but you'll never know.
Sieve some more, sir?
Yes. Oh, there are some mugs about. Imagine getting involved in something like this. Oh, there's no accounting for human nature.
Sorry, sir. Just a minute.
What?
This, sir.
What is it?
Piece of charred material.
Let's have a look. Ah. This is handy.
What do you make of it, sir?
Well, it's a piece of shirt. An important piece, too, as far as we're concerned. It's the band of the collar. The piece with the label. Can you make this out?
T-U-N-I-C-A.
Well, how's your Latin?
Oh, non-existent.
Well, that's Latin for a shirt. Tunica. Ever heard of that make before?
No.
Well, neither have I.
There's a bit of a number here, stamped on.
Oh. Yes. RE35. Is that a 7?
I think so.
Well, must be a laundry mark. Well, if it is, we won't have much difficulty in identifying the victim. Shouldn't be difficult after that.
9:57 a.m. Lieutenant Officer Cockney and Warrant Officer Britt have finished sieving the ash and dust in the vicinity of the oil drum. They have been joined by Professor Quayle from the Department of Pathology.
You've met Professor Quayle, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Are you, Mr. Breed?
In myself, sir? No complaints.
But you've got a bit of a puzzle on your hands, eh?
That's about the size of it.
We've got enough to help us, I think, Professor, but you've got a king-size headache coming your way.
Establishing cause of death, eh?
Yes.
Well, we've had worse than this. What about the skeleton in the well?
Well, I was only speaking to Warrant Officer Breed about that earlier.
I should think this one will be easier.
Well, I wish you luck with it. The district surgeon's been and gone, sir, and this is his report.
Yes. And a good doctor thinks he's found a bullet hole in the skull. Let's have a look. Funny place for a bullet wound. Right on top of the head. Can't judge the angle of entry yet, but I dare say we'll get all that in the lab later. Let's have another look here. Wore false teeth. Top set missing. Job for somebody here.
What's that?
Hawking this jawbone around the dentist in Jeppy Street.
That will be me, sir. Got the feet for it.
Look. What do you manage to find?
Well, where's my list? Here we are. 7 brass eyelets from shoes or boots, 2 shoelace ends, 1 zip. It's about the length of a zip used in a man's trousers. 4 buttons, badly bent, they could be of the victim's trousers. 3, what could have been shirt buttons. And there's a buckle, presumably off a belt. And a piece of shirt collar.
That's our best clue. It's a miracle to me that it wasn't burnt along with the rest.
I've been thinking about that. Very simple, really.
Might be to you, sir.
Imagine yourself all squashed up in an oil drum. If you had been forced in, the parts of you which would be pressed against the sides would be the soles of your feet, your knees, and your back, including the upper portion of your spine. Now, anything pressed between you and the sides of the drum would stand a chance of surviving the flames.
Yes.
That's how we come to have that piece of the shirt's neckband and collar.
Is he going to help you much?
Well, I'm counting on it, Professor.
Well, I wish you luck. The next day, 8:53 a.m., Major Munro's office at Murder Squad Headquarters, Brixton. A council of war is being held to discuss what is already known as the oil drum murder.
Right. Now, just so that we're all in the picture, I've had Professor Quayle on the phone this morning. A preliminary report on his examination of the body. He's found another bullet hole. In fact, two more, to add to the one found by the district coroner. The one the coroner found was caused by a bullet entering the skull on the left side at an oblique angle. Professor Quayle has recovered the bullet. It's been sent to ballistics. We should have a report from them sometime today. The other two holes the professor found were the entrance and exit of another shot. This one entered the brain just above the right ear, and it came out in the left cheek, just below the cheekbone. The trajectory was downwards, which suggests that the shot was fired from above the deceased.
Probably while he was sitting down, sir?
Yes.
There was a car involved. I wonder if he was shot in the car.
Another question to be answered. Now we have three things requiring some hard, routine work. There's some real slogging to be done in this one. There's what appears to be a laundry mark on the shirt collar. Someone has to check that. There's the make of shirt, and closer scrutiny in the lab has revealed what could be a manufacturer's serial number. Investigation may lead us to a retailer, and luck might help us find a customer. You never know. Anyway, it has to be checked, and that's number one. Number two is the laundry mark, or what appears to be the laundry mark. And thirdly, there's the jawbone and the false teeth.
That's my job, sir.
Oh, is it?
I've done Jeppy Street from end to end before, sir. They know me. It might make things easier.
Okay. And what about you, Lieutenant?
Well, if it's all right with you, sir, I'll take the make and the manufacturer's serial number.
Right. And I'll put another man on dry cleaners and laundries. Report back to me as soon as you find anything.
During the week that follows, the three detectives are kept busy continuously. Driving, walking, questioning.
Good morning. I'm a police officer. Here are my credentials. As a wholesaler, perhaps you will be able to help me. I'm trying to find the manufacturer or the agent for Tunica shirts.
Good morning, Doctor. It's me again. I wonder if I may have a word with your mechanic. Oh, not one of yours, eh?
Good afternoon. I have here a photograph of a portion of shirt bearing what could be a laundry mark.
Gee, pounding Jeppy Street hasn't half made my corns complaints.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Morning, sir.
I've just been in with the brigadier. He's wanting to know how we're getting on with the oil drum murder investigation. Well, how are we getting on? What an officer, Britt?
If there's a dentist I haven't met in Jeppy Street, sir, then he's only started his practice during the past 10 years. I've walked from one end of Jeppy Street to the other. I've interviewed every dental mechanic in the business. I've even been to the dental hospital at Wits. Nothing.
Oh. Detective Sergeant Gravitt?
Same with me, sir. Not one of the laundries or dry cleaners around Joburg has ever seen the laundry mark I showed him.
Yeah, not very promising, is it? Lieutenant Loverskockney?
Well, I've also drawn a blank, sir. But I picked up something which leads me to believe that the deceased might be an immigrant.
Yeah? And what's that?
Well, Tunica's shirts aren't sold in South Africa. They're manufactured in Britain, and the manufacturers aren't represented here. There's no agent handling them.
Well, it doesn't necessarily follow he's an immigrant. He could be a South African citizen who's been overseas and bought the shirt while he was over there.
Yes, that's also possible.
Well, we're not getting very far.
Anything more from Professor Quayle, sir?
Yes. He says the deceased was a man of about 35 and 6 feet 1 inches tall and weighed almost 200 pounds.
Big boy.
Yes. And there's also the ballistics report from the Criminal Bureau about the bullet Professor Quayle removed from the skull of the deceased. It's a .22 long rifle ammunition, Fiormi, made in Finland.
Well, it's another lead.
A slim one, there. Right, who's going to take it?
Well, I'm free now, sir.
All right. And what's your next move, Lieutenant?
Well, this is not a reflection on Detective Sergeant Gravett, sir, but I'm very disappointed in the result of these inquiries at dry cleaners and laundries. Who did you talk to, Sergeant?
Managers and owners, mostly.
I thought so. Owners don't know what's going on in their own businesses. I think we'll go out again, you and I, Sergeant. This time we'll talk to the people actually concerned with the marking of garments.
Right, sir.
Do you want me to get you some?
Get me some? What?
Corn plasters.
8 days later, 2:50 p.m. Lieutenant Labuskakne and Detective Sergeant Gravett are visiting a steam laundry, the renowned steam laundry in Commissioner Street East. They're talking to a woman worker concerned with laundry marks.
Here it is, in this photograph.
Yes?
Does that mean anything to you? RE357?
Yeah.
It does? What?
That's one of ours.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Who did you put it in for?
Shouldn't be difficult to find that. Just hang on a sec. Yes, here we are. You see?
Yes. R.E. Majestic Hotel. Oh, this is fabulous. But, what do the numbers stand for?
Easy. His room number. Number 57.
"3:23 p.m. Armed with that information, the two policemen drive to the Majestic Hotel and interview the manager.
Yes?
Well, I want to know who's occupied that room lately.
How recently?
Well, probably in the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Let me see. There's a Mr. Brownlow in there at the moment. Before him, there was Mr. Flory. He'd be here about that time.
Where is he now?
Well, he's away at the moment.
You mean he's coming back?
Well, that's what he said. He left his things there in the baggage room.
What does this Mr. Flory do?
He's a salesman.
Where is he?
Out in the country somewhere. Traveling around, you know.
Is he out from England by any chance?
Yes, came here to settle.
I think I'd better have a look at his things.
I don't know about that.
I've reason to believe that Mr. Flory is dead.
Oh, I see. It's just through here.
Has Mr. Flory stayed here long?
Oh, about 5 or 6 weeks. Before he went away, that is. Stuff's in here.
Oh, thanks.
That trunk and these 2 suitcases.
Right. Now, let's have a look.
Got your own keys, huh?
It's something I picked up in the Boy Scouts. Did Mr. Flory have any friends?
He was a very lively sort. He was always in company.
Did he knock about with anybody in particular?
Yes, a young boxer called Jimmy Ban.
Where do I find him?
Easy. He's in here every night.
The evening of May the 7th, 6:35 p.m., Lieutenant Labuskakne and Warrant Officer Britt are sitting unobtrusively in the hotel foyer.
Hello, Eric.
Oh, good evening, Jimmy.
Got a table for dinner?
How many?
Just me and the dog.
Come on, Warrant Officer.
Right, sir.
What time?
Oh, about 7:10.
Mr. Jimmy Ban?
Oh, that's right.
I'm a police officer. I'd like a word with you.
Huh? What about?
Frisk him, Mr. Britt.
Right, sir. Now, look here. I'll stick you out if you touch me.
You start any trouble, I'll finish it. Stand still.
Lousy cops.
Hello? What's this?
It's a revolver. What does it look like?
I hear you're handy with your fists.
I do all right.
Then what does a tough youngster like you want to do with firearms? Do they come too big for you sometimes? I should think a tall chap weighing about 200 pounds could take you all right.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. A Cobra. 2-2. I'm taking you in.
What for?
On suspicion of having murdered Mr. William Flory on or about the 17th of April.
You're going to have a hard time making a charge like that stick.
I don't think so. It depends.
Yeah?
On whether our ballistic staff can match the bullet found in Flory's brain with this gun.
And what if they can?
Then they'll hang you, my boy.
When it was pointed out to Jimmy Van that the police might have enough evidence on which to convict him, the tough facade fell away, revealing a small-time thug and bully. The motive behind William Flory's death was robbery. Van had driven Flory out of town with the intention of beating and robbing him. But Van's weight was against him. He used to box as a lightweight at 134 pounds. Pitted against Flory's 200 pounds, bullying with his fists proved ineffective. Flory was too much for him. He pretended to make it up with Flory and then shot him as he sat in the car. Flory was so big and strong, though, that the shot behind his ear didn't kill him. In fact, he dragged himself from the car and was going for Van when he collapsed. Van then shot him in the top of the head. How much did he get? 63 runs. A paltry figure which cost Jimmy Van his life, for he was brought to trial, sentenced to death, and hanged at Pretoria Central Prison.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting, in fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars.
Listen again next Friday evening to another dramatic story in our authentic South African police series, Squad Cars. Squad Cars is directed by Colin Fish and produced by David Goodman.
Squad Cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved. Johannesburg, April the 10th, 9:17 p.m. A police patrol car is prowling the Hillbrow area. The occupants are Constables Mayberg and MacDonald.
The hippies are waving to you, Pete. Friends of yours?
Oh, they always wave.
What do you think of them?
Ugh, they're a dirty lot. They'd all look a lot better if they took a bath now and again and cut their hair.
It's funny, they don't give us much trouble.
True. You know, I often look at them and wonder how they'd shape on the farm.
Yeah, might do them a lot of good. See that?
He's in a hurry.
Shot up Claim Street.
Let's go and take a look.
You can't go up there. It's a one-way street.
No, I'll shoot up Twist and try and get onto him in Kotzer Street. Hold tight.
Been a quiet night so far.
It always is midweek. It's Friday and Saturday the fun and games start.
Everybody seems to be wanting a party on the weekends.
Right. Left into Claim Street. Can you see him?
67 Delta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, hang on a sec. Yes, he's slowed down for their robot down the bottom there, by Caroline Street.
Right. Keep a sharp lookout.
You drive well, Pitt.
Thanks.
There he goes, straight down. Still in a hurry, too.
Wonder what his case is.
Let's pull him over and find out.
Straight through that red light.
Careful, Pitt.
I'm watching it.
Seems to be heading for Louis Botha Avenue.
That should be interesting. He'll think he's on a racetrack.
Lights green, you can go. Get around the corner, you should be able to see him.
You think he knows we're onto him?
Don't know yet. There he is, going like a rocket.
Right, my beauty.
He's turning.
Off to the left. What street's that?
Elm Street. Watch it, there's a robot.
Where does Elm Street go?
Munro Drive, down to Harton.
No chance of cutting him off.
You'll just have to sit on his tail. He'll have to slow down for Munro Drive. It's not a road you can negotiate at speed. There's that hairpin bend halfway down.
Yeah, I remember it. He'll write himself off if he doesn't slow down.
There he is.
I'm gaining on him.
Flash him with your lights. There's only one man in the car.
Yeah, seems to be. He knows we're following him. Look at him go.
Fool. See that?
Bunt the curb.
He's turning right.
So are we. What street's this?
St. Patrick Road. We've got him.
Why?
It's a dead end.
Sure.
Positive.
Yes, he's slowing down.
Don't give him a chance to turn around.
I won't. He's going up that drive.
No, he stopped. He thinks he's going to turn around.
Okay. We'll park right across his rear bumper.
Careful, Pitt. He's reckless.
Whew. There. He's all yours.
Thanks. What's your hurry?
There was somebody chasing me.
It was us. Where's the fire?
I haven't done anything. You'd run too if you saw that somebody was chasing you.
If you thought somebody was playing the fool, you could have pulled over and let them pass.
I wasn't taking any chances.
Not much, you weren't. You're lucky you're still alive the way you've been driving. Is this your car?
Yes.
Show me the keys.
There you are.
What's the registration number of this car?
Just a minute. Don't fluster me. Registration number. I know it as well as my own name.
You sure you didn't pick it up for a joyride?
No, it's mine.
Where do you live?
In the Free State.
Whereabouts in the Free State?
Luttsville, near Bloemfontein.
What are you doing in Joburg?
Well, I came up for the Rand Easter show. I got to keep abreast of developments.
You don't look like a farmer.
You don't look like a policeman.
He's drunk.
I am not. For your information, I'm slightly inebriated.
Been celebrating?
No, I've been drowning my sorrows. I've got to go home at the end of the week, and I don't want to go home.
Why not?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Come on, man. Pull yourself together. What's your name?
Barrington.
First name?
David.
What's the registration number of this car?
OLV 394.
Well?
It's his, all right.
I told you!
Quiet, man. You'll wake the street.
What are we going to do with him?
He's not fit to drive, that's for sure.
We're going to take him in?
Yes, I think we'd better for his own good. In this state, he's a danger to himself as well as other drivers.
Okay.
Move over, Mr. Barrington.
I'm driving.
Not anymore. Move over.
Do you think you can drive this car?
Move over and I'll show you.
Okay, but Diana's not going to like this, you know.
Who's Diana?
That's my wife. She gives me a hard time.
I bet it's nothing compared with the time you give her.
Shall we take him to Hospital Hill?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you there.
Hey, what's Hospital Hill?
It's a local police station.
Am I in trouble?
A bit.
Diana's not going to like this. I promised I'd keep out of trouble. I gave her my word of honor. And that's the only reason she let me come to Joburg. It's automatic. Can you manage it?
I think so. What do you farm?
Mealies and cattle when the drought will let me.
It's hit you hard, has it?
It's hit everybody hard. The Prime Minister said that it was one of the worst catastrophes to hit this country. Very concerned about it.
Couldn't have hit you that badly.
What are you talking about? All my cattle died, didn't they?
You're driving a brand new car. You've got money enough to come up to Joburg for a week.
That's my little hobby.
What's that?
Wouldn't you like to know, eh?
So you've got another source of income besides farming?
I didn't say that.
Not in so many words.
It so happens that I have a father-in-law who's rather well-to-do. Not short of a bob or two isn't Redfers Llewellyn. It was Redfers Llewellyn who set me up, on condition that I looked after Diana properly.
And do you?
Well, it's a battle, let me tell you. It's a very difficult girl, highly strung, worries about all of us.
Why?
Because of my little hobby.
I think we'd better let your wife know what's happened to you.
Oh, no, mustn't do that. She'll never let me go off without her again. I had the devil's own job getting away. I don't want to ruin everything.
You should have thought of that before you got tanked up like this.
Yeah, what's going to happen to me?
Well, you'll spend the night as our guest, and in the morning you may pay an admission of guilt. Then you can be on your way. Got any money?
Yeah. Plenty. Just a minute, let me show you. How about that, eh? See?
You're lucky you've still got that. That's the biggest roll of notes I ever saw. How much is there?
I don't know. I haven't counted it lately.
9:45 p.m. Hillbrow Police Station. Constables Maybach and MacDonald are watching the sergeant on duty take charge of David Berrington's things before locking him up for the night.
Give me your tie.
When will I get it back?
You'll get everything back in the morning.
Then why can't I keep it?
Regulations.
Regulations.
And your belt, please.
My belt.
And keys?
These are his, Sergeant.
Keys. Various. 5. Any pens?
One.
Pen. Your wallet?
Wallet?
And the money in your possession.
Hey? Are you sure I'm going to get all this back?
Everything goes into this canvas bag, and you get a receipt for it.
Yeah, but who gets the canvas bag?
It goes into the station's safe.
Okay. I got lots of money. Big roll. Haven't I, Constable?
That's for sure.
Here you are.
Got it, Constable.
Right, Sergeant. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. 260 ront. And there's 2 ront. 22, 3, 4, 5, 27 cents. 262 ront and 27 cents.
262, 27. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's income from what he calls his hobby.
And what's that?
He's not telling.
It's probably the horses.
No, it's not the horses. You're not even warm.
Well, I'm not in the mood for games. Frisk him, Constable.
All right, Sergeant.
Is that the lot?
No, Sergeant. Just a minute. Something in the match pocket of his jacket.
Now, pull it out. Let's have a look.
Hey, you can't have that. That's my good luck.
Here we are.
Let's see. What is it?
It's an uncut diamond, Sergeant.
It's part of my little hobby.
April the 11th, 9:05 a.m. Having been called from the Witwatersrand Divisional Headquarters, Lieutenant Anderson of the Diamond and Gold Staff is interviewing David Berrington in an office at the Hillbrow Police Station.
Got a hangover?
Yes.
From all accounts, you deserve one. You're a Free Stater?
Yeah, I am now.
How long have you been farming?
Ever since I got married.
How long's that?
Oh, 3 years.
Is it your farm?
No, it's my wife's, actually. I'm running the place for her.
I see. All right, well, where did you get all this money?
It's money for my expenses while I'm in Joburg.
I didn't ask you what it was for. I asked you where you got it.
I drew it from the bank.
Well, we can check on that. This diamond, don't you know it's against the law to have uncut diamonds in your possession?
No.
Where'd you get it?
Found it.
Where?
In a river on my farm.
And where's that?
Lutzville.
It's near Bloemfontein, isn't it?
Yes.
But that's not a diamond area.
No.
You just found the one?
Yes.
It's a big one. You might get 3 carats out of it when it's cut.
Yes.
You realize I must confiscate it? That's the law?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm sorry, I don't believe your story either. You know what?
What?
You're going home to Lutzville today.
Eh?
Yes. And I'm going with you.
Lutzville in the Free State, 2:57 p.m. The car in which Lieutenant Anderson and David Berrington have traveled from Johannesburg pulls up outside the house on the farm called Inverdur. A young woman comes out to greet them.
Hello? You're back early?
Yeah.
Why? What's the matter?
Diana, this is Lieutenant Anderson. He's a policeman.
Mrs. Berrington?
I told you it would come to this.
That's enough.
I told you they'd catch you. They always do.
I've told him nothing. He knows nothing.
He's right, Mrs. Berrington. I'm hoping you'll persuade him to help me.
It'll be a pleasure.
Are you out of your mind?
No. But I shall be if a stop isn't put to this business here and now.
Just remember what's at stake.
Do you think I've forgotten? It's with me every moment of the day.
Now, look. Before you all get so excited that I can't make head or tail of what you're trying to tell me...
We're not telling you anything.
Quiet, man. I haven't finished. I suggest we sit down and try and keep our heads.
Do you want to be inside or out?
It's too nice to sit indoors. Lovely sunny day like this.
Yes. It was days like this that started it all.
I'm sorry?
These aren't nice days for a farmer, Lieutenant. Nice days are when it rains.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course.
We were doing all right till the rains passed us by.
Please, Diana, I beg of you.
Listen, my lad. You're in trouble up to your neck. I can see your wife is trying to make things easier for you. Now, sit down and keep quiet. Sorry, Mrs. Berrington.
We were paying our way, just. We'd got the books into the black. Dave's always wanted to be a farmer for as long as he can remember. Cattle are his life. He loves cattle. We had Herefords. Nice little herd. Bull and everything. They all died. I thought Dave would die too. I've never seen a man so cut up. It's not nice for a wife to see that in her husband. We went to my father for credit, and he just couldn't help us. He was in trouble himself. Dave was desperate. Rather foolishly, he blamed himself. He felt he'd failed.
But it was the drought.
Yes, we needed money desperately. We had to have money, otherwise the place would have been put up for sale. And you can buy a farm cheaply in times like this. Anyway, Dave started drinking. Took to going to Bloemfontein. First he used to tell me that he went there on farm business. But later when the money appeared, I knew there was something going on. He used to tell me it was money he'd won at poker. I knew he was lying. Then one day I forced the truth out of him. How much did you win this time?
Over 200 rand.
You never told me you were a gambling man.
Well, it's a talent I didn't know I had.
Dave, don't you think you've kidded me long enough?
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm not a fool, you know. You're just not the poker-playing type.
Where do you suppose I get the money, then?
Oh, I don't know. All sorts of funny ideas occur to me in the small hours of the morning, when I can't sleep for worrying about you. Oh, I sometimes think you steal it.
Oh, come on.
Sometimes I think you must be involved in IDB.
What do you know about IDB?
Only what I've read. I've got no first-hand experience of it at all. Have you?
Don't be ridiculous.
Dave, you're blushing.
So what?
I've hit the nail right on the head, haven't I?
No.
Yes, I have. Where do you go? What do you do?
It's best if you know nothing.
Dave, I have a right to know. I'm your wife.
I go to Maseru.
Lesotho?
Yes, that's right.
What do you do there?
I meet a man.
What man?
I don't even know his name.
And?
Look, if you breathe one word of this, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Go on.
Well, this man gives me a parcel. A little parcel.
Diamonds?
And I have to bring them across the border.
Where to?
All different places. Ladybrand, Wiepener, Reddersburg. I even went to Zastron once.
The time you were away for the weekend.
That's right.
Haven't you ever stopped to consider what would happen if they caught you?
Well, of course I have.
What?
Oh, look, Diana, IDB's... Well, it's almost a national pastime. Everybody does it.
No, they don't. Not decent, honest, law-abiding folks. It's against the law.
Well, so's buying a raffle ticket.
Oh, please. That's not the same thing at all. You can't equate a sports club raffle with trading in diamonds. What happens if you get caught?
I pay a fine.
And the next time?
A bigger fine.
Until you finally wind up in prison.
Oh, I won't.
What's going to happen to me and Nicholas, then?
Oh, don't be silly, Diana. I can take care of myself. How is Nicky, by the way?
Yes, you have to ask. You're never at home, so you wouldn't know how he is. Anyway, things went on like that for quite a while. I tried to talk to David about how worried I was, but he'd always fobbed me off. I never got anywhere. Eventually, my nerves couldn't stand it anymore. I was terrified. Every time David left the house, I became convinced I'd never see him again. Finally, there was a showdown. It's time for you to choose. It's either them or me.
What do you mean?
Quite simple. Unless you tell your IDB pals that you won't run any more diamonds across the border for them, I'm going, and I'm taking Nicky with me. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Well?
Look, I couldn't live without you and Nicky.
Dave, I'm begging you. Tell them you won't do it anymore. We've made plenty of money, more than enough. Oh, my dad's beginning to ask awkward questions. He's not a fool, you know. Oh, please, Dave.
Okay. I'll tell them after the next run.
And he did. He was as good as his word.
And what happened?
I think you'd better tell the lieutenant about that, Dave.
Well, it was nearly a week later. I came from the lands. The sun had just gone. Darling!
Darling's here, aren't you, darling?
Dave! Oh, Dave, they've been here an hour.
Yeah, waiting for the IDB farmer to come home. Isn't that right, Joey boy?
What are you doing? What do you want?
We came to bring you a message. Didn't we, Joey boy?
Yeah.
Mr. Jansen thinks you've been a very naughty boy. He sent Joey and me to bring you back into line.
They threatened to hit me.
Oh, tell the lady to keep quiet, Joey boy.
Yeah, shut up.
You can't talk to my wife like that.
No, don't get excited. Otherwise you'll make Joey boy nervous. And he might drop the baby.
Nicky?
Hey, Joey boy.
Accidents will happen.
What do you want?
Mr. Jansen says that things had better stay the way they were.
Otherwise?
Otherwise, your family might come to harm.
You wouldn't dare.
Your wife's a pretty woman. You wouldn't want us to change that, would you?
What's that?
It's a razor. A cutthroat razor. Very sharp. Sharp and nasty. Hey, Joey boy.
They mean what they say, Dad.
That's right. Either you do the trips again, or else.
Oh, Dad, promise them anything. Say you'll do it. Just get them to go away and leave us alone.
That's how they got me back into the game. I had no choice.
So what were you doing in Johannesburg?
Tell him, Dave.
Well, Diana had packed her things. She couldn't take any more. She was leaving me. I couldn't face that, so I roared off into Johannesburg with a pocket full of money. I just wanted to forget everything.
You really want to get out of this game?
I'd give anything. As long as Diana and my boy will be all right.
Well, if we round up the whole gang, what can they do?
And those across the border?
The police in Maseru will be only too pleased to hear about them.
Yeah, what about me? What do I get out of it all?
As a state witness, you'd get off very lightly. And you'll have something money can't buy.
What's that?
Peace of mind. Well, what do you say?
Okay. What do you want me to do? April the 21st. The border post at Maseru. David Berrington has crossed the border in his car, and he's met by Lieutenant Anderson.
Got the stuff?
Yes.
Good. Switch on the radio we fixed under your dashboard. We've installed a portable radio transmitter just over the border.
Okay.
Testing. Testing. Are you receiving us? Over.
Loud and clear. Over.
Good. You're to maintain radio silence to this vehicle from here on. Just listen. Over.
Message received and understood. Over and out.
What's your destination, David?
Tabanchu. Joey's going to meet me there. He'll get into the car and tell me where to go from there.
Right. Now, just before we get to Tabanchu, you lock me in the boot.
And do what?
I'll tell you.
4:17 p.m. Outside a private house on the outskirts of Tabanchu, David Berrington and the man called Joey have taken the parcel of diamonds into the house and handed them over to the man called Janssen. Berrington tells them to come outside to the car. He says he has something to show them in the boot.
Is it something you picked up in Lesotho?
No, it was just this side of the border, as a matter of fact.
Biltong, I bet you.
Just let me get it open.
All right, you lot. I'm a police officer. Stand where you are.
Here comes the car with Captain Bryant and his men.
Come on, Joey, let's get out of here.
Stay where you are.
Mr. Janssen! Mr. Four men were arrested at the house in Tabanchu. 5 more were apprehended in Bloemfontein. They constituted a gang of IDV operators which had eluded the police for many months. The manner of their apprehension was praised by the judge in the Supreme Court where the men eventually stood trial. One of the men was discharged, and the other 8 received sentences ranging from a 500-rand fine to 10 years in prison. As a state witness, David Berrington was given a suspended sentence, and he and his wife Diana were reunited. His little hobby had grown till it became a way of life. It could have had tragic consequences for his family. They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting. In fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence, these men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars.
Squad Cars. General Motors and their dealer organization throughout Southern Africa proudly bring you the drama, the danger, the thrills, and the facts when the long arm of the law travels in Squad Cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved.
Johannesburg, December the 3rd, 7:15 a.m. On the platform of the old Park Station, where the new station now stands, Warrant Officer Johan van Deventer and Sergeant Oliver Franklin are waiting for the arrival of the Durban train.
It seems it's late. Much? Ticket collector says 2 or 3 minutes. What does this Bilo character look like? On the small side, black wavy hair, olive complexion. Good looking. Bit of a ladies' man, isn't he? A bit. It's funny how they go for characters like that, eh? Yes. Must be the Latin temperament. He was in a beachfront flat when they caught him, wasn't he? That's right, with a woman as usual. Barry's downfall. Anybody foolish enough to embark on a career of crime should rule out getting involved with the women. They get in the way. Was it a woman with the record? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. She can't be up to much if she associates with the likes of Bilo. I mean, he may be good-looking and young, but he's still a dangerous thug. I saw what he did to the manager of that bank they robbed in Isando. Yeah, he beat him up badly, didn't he? Yes, and for no reason. It wasn't as if the man was offering any resistance. Nah, Bilo's a hoodlum. The reef will be a happier place once he's under lock and key. Lieutenant Gardner must be glad it's all over. Bilo certainly caused him some headaches. Any risk involved in traveling handcuffed to a man like Bilo? Oh, don't worry. Lieutenant can handle Bilo any day of the week. The news of Bilo's capture must have put the wind up his 2 accomplices. That's for sure. Tell me, will Bilo talk? Oh, I shouldn't think so. For him to squeal would be out of character. Hey, isn't that a train coming now? Yeah, that must be it. Well, once we've got Bilo and the lieutenant in the car, where are we going to take them? Divisional headquarters. The brigadier wants to talk to Bilo himself. They've got a compartment to themselves, next to the dining car. I wonder what they talked about during the journey. You could bet it wasn't banks and bank robbers. I shouldn't think Bilo can talk about anything else but girls. Lieutenant will be tired out. Why? You don't sleep with a man like Bilo chained to your wrist. Yeah, that's true. Even though there's a constable on relief. There they are. Come on. Morning, sir.
Morning.
This is Sergeant Franklin, sir. Morning, sir.
Sergeant.
How's the prisoner?
Very tired. The lieutenant, he keeps me talking all night.
Never mind, Bilo. We're going to give you a nice, cozy little cell. You can sleep as much as you like, then.
Did you have a good trip, sir?
Well, as you can see, very rewarding.
Yes. We've got a car up the road, sir.
Good.
Did you manage to get something to eat?
Oh, only a bite or two. You need 2 hands for bacon and eggs.
This way, sir.
7:27 a.m. Lieutenant Gardiner and his prisoner, flanked by Warrant Officer van Deventer and Sergeant Franklin, emerge into the bright summer sunlight at street level.
Car's over here, sir.
Ah, good.
What the devil is that?
Walter!
Look out, he's got a gun.
Walter, get down! Don't shoot!
Head down.
It's me, Victor!
What's going on there?
Keep your heads up, take cover! He may shoot again!
Anybody hit?
Only Bilo, sir.
That was Victor Peralta in that car. I'd know him anywhere. Look, I can't move Bilo like this. You take the sergeant and get after Peralta.
Yes, sir.
You'd better send a car and an ambulance for us.
Right, sir. I'll do that right away, sir.
For goodness sake, be careful. Peralta's as dangerous as Bilo was. He'd shoot you as soon as look at you. Did you get the car number?
Yes, sir, I did. Come on, Sergeant. 7:32 a.m. The 2 police officers sprint to their patrol car. The sergeant guns the engine into life, and the warrant officer takes the microphone off the radio.
Number 23. Number 23. Number 23 to control. Come in. Over.
Control to car 23. Come in. Over.
This is Warrant Officer van Deventer. Sergeant Franklin and I met Lieutenant Gardner and his prisoner at Park Station. We were just coming out when a car pulled up. A red Fleetwing. TJ 5670. Last year's model. And we were fired upon. We didn't even get a chance to return the fire. We were out in the open. We had to lie on the ground. The prisoner's been badly wounded. Will you send an ambulance and a car to take care of them? Over.
Message received and understood. Over.
In the meantime, we are giving chase. The car's pulled out of the station into Wanderer Street. At the moment, it looks as though they are heading north, towards Hospital Hill. These men are armed and dangerous. Over.
Car number 5. Control to car number 5. Come in. Over.
Number 5 to control. I'm receiving you. Over.
State your position. Over.
Just passing the old cemetery in Smith Street. Over.
Converge on the Hospital Hill area and be on the lookout for a red Fleetwing, DJ 5670. Its occupants are to be stopped and detained. They are armed and dangerous. Over.
You're on the way, control. Over and out.
Control to car number 12. Come in. Over. Car 12 receiving you. Over. State your position, number 12. Over.
We're patrolling Donata Street and Sydenham. Over.
Get into Louis Porter Avenue. Make for town. Be on the lookout for a red Fleetwing, DJ 5670. Its occupants are to be detained in connection with the shooting outside Park Station. Now be careful. These men are armed. Over.
Received and understood. Over and out.
Can you see him, Sergeant?
Not at the moment. He's gone round there up Hospital Street.
Just hope and pray that he keeps going north.
Why?
Because we got no traffic against us.
Ah, I see. All the rush hour stuff.
That's it. You'll have a clear run out along Louis Botha.
Well, let's hope he doesn't turn off and then number 12 can intercept him.
There he is.
Blast it. Lights checked.
All clear this side.
I'm going through. This is an emergency.
Lost him again. He's over the brow of the hill.
Don't worry, I'm onto him.
I've never seen anything so brazen in all my life.
As cool as you please in broad daylight. You think they were after Bilo or the lieutenant?
Probably both.
But why?
Peralta must be scared that Bilo will talk. Tell us where we can find him. He shoots Bilo and the officer in charge of the case thinking that will make things easier for himself.
But how did he know that Bilo was being brought to Joburg?
We've probably got the woman Bilo was with in Durban to thank for that.
Ah, what a crew. Now what? Left, right, or straight on?
Take a chance, straight on. We'll see when we get round the corner. I was right. There they are.
They must be making for Oxford Road.
Hang on a second. Number 23. Number 23. Number 23 to control. Come in. Over.
Control to 23. Receiving you. Over.
That red Fleetwing has gone into Queen's Road, Parktown. It seems likely he's heading for Oxford Road. Over.
Control to car number 5. Did you receive that, number 5? Over.
Received it. Acting accordingly. Over.
Control to car 12. Did you receive that too? Over.
We're on our way, control. Over and out.
He's turned left at the bottom there. He's going like the devil.
You're not doing so badly yourself.
Hold tight.
Turn right at the bottom, right again, and you're in Oxford Road.
So is Peralta, I hope. Hold on. And another one.
Nice driving. Now you've got a clear run down Oxford Road. Step on it. I'm hoping you'll go racing out into the country. It'll make things easier for us. I don't fancy any shooting among all that traffic headed for town.
I'm gaining on him.
Good.
Car 12 to control. Over.
Go ahead, car 12. Receiving you.
Over. Where's the red Fleetwing? Over.
If you cut down Glenhove Road through to Oxford Road, you've got a good chance of getting onto him. Just be careful in the traffic. I want to get him out of town. There's less likelihood of anybody getting hurt that way. Over.
Right, sir. Received and understood. Over and out.
He's driving well. You've got to hand it to him.
He'll wish he was jet-propelled by the time we're through with him. Car 23 to control. Come in. Over.
Control to 23. Receiving you. Over.
Tell car 12 to forget about intercepting Peralta. I think it's better if he continues right out at speed. And once he's out of town, just past Maris Brothers in Alovo, he's to set up a roadblock. Over.
Car 12 to control. I received a message from car 23. We're on our way. Over and out.
Now all we need is for Peralta to keep going straight ahead.
I think it's very wise of you to arrange the roadblock out of town, sir.
There's too much traffic about it this time of day. There's a chance that innocent people would get hurt. Can't you get this thing to go any faster?
I'm maintaining the distance between Peralta and us. He's not getting away. If I let him think he's gaining on us, there's less likelihood of him turning off somewhere.
Good thinking. Right. Just let him pull away from you. Just a bit. Just enough to make him feel cocky.
7:51 a.m. The driver of car 12 and his crew arrive at the junction of Fricker and Rudd Roads. The car is set across the road so as to obstruct the way of any vehicle coming from the direction of Oxford Road. They stand and wait behind the car, their revolvers drawn, tense.
They won't be able to go round us to the right because of the traffic going towards town.
What about the grass verge?
He'll never make it between the wall and that tree. He'll have to stop. You stay here. I'm going out into the road. As soon as I see him, I'll flag him down. Indicate that he must stop.
For Pete's sake, be careful, man. He'll run you down.
Don't worry, I'll watch it. If he does, there'll be time to get out of the way. And that's when you start shooting.
Right.
He's got 4 alternatives. He'll either stop, swerve to the right and risk a collision with a car coming the other way, take a chance on the grass verge, or ram the car. It depends how desperate it is.
Here he comes.
Right. I'm going out to meet him.
Just be careful.
Just remember what I told you. Stop! Stop! Police!
He's coming straight through. Get out of the way.
Shoot!
Northern suburbs, 7:53 a.m. The red Fleetwing roars into view. The driver of car number 12 goes down the road to intercept it. He puts up his hand, indicating that the car should stop. He shouts. His actions are disregarded by the 2 men in the red Fleetwing. The car bears down on the squad car driver, and he's forced to jump out of its way for fear of his life. The crew member of squad car number 12 opens fire at the speeding vehicle. One of his shots stars the windscreen of the red car. There's a violent skidding sound as the car's brakes are applied. It swings crazily out of control for a fraction of a second, and then, its driver fighting the steering wheel, it straightens up, heads for the grass verge, bounces off the road, and heads for the narrow gap between the high garden wall of the house and a tree on the grass verge.
He's stuck. You'll never make it. Shoot! Oh, stop! Fantastic. I've never seen anything like it.
He was stuck there between the tree and the wall.
Just for a moment. And when they changed drivers, well, the fastest thing I ever saw.
Why did they do that, I wonder?
I think the driver was wounded.
Better get the car out of the way. Warrant Officer Van Deventer will be along here soon.
Here he comes now.
What happened?
He managed to get the car between the wall and the tree there. Don't ask me how.
Why didn't you shoot him?
We did.
Did you hit him?
I think we got the driver.
So why didn't he stop?
Well, the other man pulled the driver out of the way, took his place at the wheel.
Well, I'll be... Oh, just don't stand there. Get the car out of the way.
Right, sir.
And follow us. I wouldn't have thought it possible.
The car must be badly damaged, sir. There was a line of red paint off the car all along the wall.
Yes, and the tree was damaged, too.
This Peralta's a real desperado.
He won't get far.
I wonder which one was shot.
We won't know that until we catch up with him. Come on, man, put your foot down.
8:11 a.m. Some miles further down the road in Morningside. On a bridge across a small river, Warrant Officer Van Deventer and Sergeant Franklin see the red Fleetwing.
Looks as though they've ditched it. It may be a trap. Maybe. Just be careful. Come on. Driver's door's open. I'll take that side. You go round to the door on the near side. Watch me, and when I nod, get that door open fast. Right. Just don't get so excited that you shoot me.
I'll watch it, sir.
All right, you two. Let's have you out.
There's only one, sir. This side. He's hurt bad.
Where's the other one?
He can't talk, sir. He's shot in the throat.
No, it's his head. Where's the other man?
It's no good, sir.
Plenty of blood about. Wonder if the other one's hit, too. Have a look around.
Right.
Peralta's the one who's got away. He must have driven from back there by the school. That means that he must have got out on this side. In which case, if he was hit, there'd be... Yes, here we are. Look, spots of blood.
They crossed the road here, sir. They crossed the verge on the other side. What happened, sir?
Peralta's escaped.
He went this way, sir. Down here through the grass.
The spoor is quite easy to follow.
Right, Constable. You go with the sergeant. You too.
Right, sir.
I'm just going to report in. I'll join you just now.
8:25 a.m. Warrant Officer van Dierventer informs control of what has transpired. At the same time, he learns that Lieutenant Gardner's prisoner, the bank robber called Bilo, has died in hospital. So now the man called Victor Peralta is wanted on a murder charge. 8:31 a.m. Warrant Officer van Dierventer joins in the chase. The trail of blood leads northeast along the riverbank. The spots of blood in the grass grow smaller and further apart.
He must have managed to staunch the bleeding. Yes, he's lost a lot of blood there. Must have weakened him considerably. Hang on a moment, sir. That's it. Trail stops. Where's the last blood? Right here. About a yard from the water's edge. He's taken to the river. He's down there, in the mud. There's a footprints. Must be.
And down there, sir, in the riverbed, in the sand.
Yes, he must have jumped in.
And there are more footprints in the sand further down the river.
Come on. You stay up there on the bank. Don't only concentrate on the river. He might have left the river further down already. Keep a lookout on either hillside.
Right, sir. You want me to go back and radio for a dog, sir?
Let's see how we go. It may not be necessary.
If he sticks to the river, the dog would lose the scent anyway.
Just as we've lost the trail.
I beg your pardon, sir?
The sandy bottom's finished. It's given way to rock. Hang on.
What's that, sir?
Water splashed on the rocks. He must have gone down there.
That pool looks pretty deep. If he went in there, he must be wet through.
Well, I'm not going swimming. Give me your hand.
Here. Up you come, sir.
Thanks. Now, just a moment, let me think. If I were Peralta, I think I'd want some transport. He's a town boy, this Peralta. He's got friends in Joburg. So that means he must make for a road. And he can't go back the way he's come, or a house. Where there's a house, there's a car. That's usually the case.
The grass is wet over here, sir. This is where he must have climbed out.
Good man. See any blood?
Yes, sir. Just a couple of spots.
Which way is he headed?
That way, sir. Up the hill.
Towards that house.
That's a riding school, sir.
Plenty of transport there.
I shouldn't think he's in any condition to ride a horse, sir.
No. The cars, pupils, owners.
Sorry, sir.
Let's get up there as fast as we can.
Right, sir.
Not you, Constable. You go back for one of the cars.
Right, sir.
Drive it round to the riding school here. Just watch your step.
Very good, sir.
9:07 a.m. The Cavaliers School of Equitation. The trail of blood has led the warrant officer and his men to the boundary of the riding school. Peralta has obviously climbed the fence and made his way to a group of outbuildings beside which is parked a 2-ton truck.
See anything?
No, sir.
It wouldn't surprise me if Mr. Peralta was already in that truck fiddling with the ignition wires. Wouldn't you if you were Peralta?
I think so, sir.
Let's take a look. Watch it, Constable. You've already had a demonstration of how desperate this man is.
I'll watch it, sir.
Oh, and one more thing.
Yes, sir?
Follow the fence and come out round the other side.
Right, sir.
We don't have to worry about the road because Constable, what's his name?
MacDonald, sir.
Constable MacDonald is coming up that way in the car.
But he won't know how to intercept a 2-ton truck?
That's true. Well, just let's hope he uses his head. Come on. If we see him, I'll challenge him. Give him a chance to give himself up. I don't think he will. The young hoodlum desperate enough to try and shoot it up with us. He can't have a great deal of ammunition with him. If I remember rightly, 3 shots were fired at the station. If he's got a revolver, he's got 3 shots left. If it's a pistol... No, I think it was a revolver. I think... It all happened so quickly.
He might have more ammunition with him, sir.
Possibly. See anything?
No, sir.
Move your eyes across the scene, like you do out in the bush when you're looking for game. A movement will betray his whereabouts. Get down. Did you see where that came from?
No, sir.
Blast!
Yes, sir.
Come on, Constable, we must wriggle closer. He's up there somewhere. He's either in that truck or near it. Keep your head down, Constable.
I am, sir.
Keep away! Leave me alone! I'll kill you!
Don't be a fool, Peralta. There are too many of us.
Ah, there are only 2 of you!
You didn't see Sergeant Franklin go around the fence?
No, sir.
There is no cover for you there! I'll shoot you like dogs!
Give yourself up, Peralta. It's hopeless.
That's 6.
6 what, sir?
Shots.
You're hurt, Peralta. Come on out with your hands up, and we'll see that you get the medical attention you require.
You want me to show myself? I'm not such a fool!
Can you see him?
No, sir.
Best if I can either. Come on, let's make a move. See if it draws any fire.
Right, sir.
7.
Come any closer and you're a dead man!
Then it'll be a murder charge.
Ah, it is dead already! I shot Bilo!
And they can only hang you once, eh?
That's right!
What makes you think he's dead?
Because I shoot straight! I shoot him in the chest!
You're a fool, Peralta. You can't get away. There are too many of us.
I'm leaving in the truck!
Not if we can help it.
Now listen to me, Constable.
Yes, sir.
When I tell you I want you to make a move as though you were going to outflank him on the left.
Yes, sir.
Don't go far. And just make enough movement to draw his fire. I'll watch pretty carefully for the smoke.
Right, sir.
All right, Constable. Off you go. He didn't shoot.
Don't try any funny business! Stay where you are!
I wonder. I could be mistaken. It might be a pistol. In which case... Yes. Yes, I think it's worth a gamble. I wonder what Sergeant Franklin's doing. Are you all right, Constable?
A bit uncomfortable, sir. I'm lying on an ant heap.
Well, wriggle off it, man.
Here, I say, what are you doing in my truck?
That must be the riding school, man.
Get back to the house. You'll get yourself shot.
What's that?
Get under cover.
Oh, right here.
Nimble enough for a man of his age. So Peralta's in the truck. Must be having trouble with the wiring.
There's a sergeant, sir. Creeping along in the shot of that wall.
He's seen him.
Sergeant! The sergeant's down, sir.
So I see. Right, Mr. Peralta. Let's see what you're made of and whether I was right or not.
I'm coming to get you, Peralta.
You do and I'll kill you the way I killed your friend just now.
I'm coming to get you. And I'm not coming on my belly either. Get down, till they kill you. I don't think so. I'm coming, Peralta.
I'm waiting for you.
You're bluffing.
Come and see.
I think all your ammunition's gone.
Don't count on it.
I don't think you bargained for needing more than 8 shots on your little outing to shoot Bilo and the lieutenant.
You must be crazy. Stay where you are.
No, Peralta. I'm coming in for you.
Another step and you're dead.
Go on then. Shoot me. Why don't you? I'm opening the truck door, Peralta. Now.
Warrant Officer Van Deventer, at the risk of his life, wrenched open the door of the truck to reveal Peralta lying across the seats. The policeman found a pistol leveled at his head. He looked into the black muzzle. He saw the effort it cost Peralta to squeeze the trigger. The mechanism worked, but the flash and explosion, which Warrant Officer Van Deventer expected, was not forthcoming. Peralta's ammunition was spent. He was badly wounded in the hip. Sergeant Franklin was not dead, as his colleagues had feared. He, too, was badly wounded. Peralta stood trial for killing Bilo, and he was ultimately sentenced to death. He was hanged at Pretoria Central Prison.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting, in fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars. Listen again next Friday evening to another authentic story in our dramatic South African police series, Squad Cars. Brought to you by General Motors, makers of the biggest and most exciting range of cars, trucks, and commercial vehicles in the world. Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Beaumont, Chevrolet, Opel, Holden, Vauxhall, Bedford, GMC, and Ranger, South Africa's own car. Squad cars. General Motors and their dealer organization throughout Southern Africa proudly bring you the drama, the danger, the thrills, and the facts when the long arm of the law travels in squad cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved.
Johannesburg, January the 9th, 12:35 a.m. The occupants of number 56 14th Avenue, Houghton, are disturbed by a noise from the house next door, number 58. The woman, a Mrs. Garfield, hears it first. She gets up, goes to the bedroom window, and peers out. What she sees causes her to call her husband.
Leslie?
What is it?
Come and see.
I'm trying to get some sleep.
So was I, but I kept hearing noises.
No, you're always hearing noises.
Well, I'm not imagining things this time. Come and have a look.
Somebody prowling around?
Yes.
In our garden?
No.
Well, then.
Next door, number 58.
Then it's none of my business. I'm going back to sleep.
Leslie, get out of that bed. You can't adopt this attitude.
Well, who's going to stop me?
Well, it's not right.
Any minute now, you'll be giving me a lecture about my civic duty.
You just can't ignore burglars.
What? Burglars? Well,
I told you, next door.
Let's have a look.
There's a car in the street, and they keep crossing the front lawn to it.
Let's have a look.
Down there. What?
Yes, you're right. What's that he's carrying?
A bundle of stuff. It looks as though it's all tied up in a blanket.
Are they non-Europeans or whites?
Whites.
Serves them right.
Who?
The Wishots. They should have hired a watch boy or something.
Oh, aren't you going to do something?
Like what?
You've got a gun?
Yes, and no doubt that little lot down there have got guns, too.
Leslie Garfield, you're afraid.
That's right. I'd rather be a live coward than a dead hero.
What sort of attitude is that?
A very sensible one.
Well, I think it's terrible. And if you're not prepared to do something about it, I am. Where's that gun of yours?
Now, Valerie, don't be ridiculous.
And I thought you were a man.
That's got nothing to do with it.
Oh, that's not my outlook. Oh.
Val, please, leave that gun alone.
If somebody were breaking into my property, I'd like to think that the neighbors were prepared to do something about it.
My dear, we can't handle this ourselves. Let's call the police.
By the time the police get here, those monkeys will be miles away.
Well, it's their business, not ours.
Oh, get out of the way. Let me use the phone. Men. Oh, I shan't forget tonight in a hurry.
I'm not going out to risk my life for the Wishots.
Police Constable Hutting speaking.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the trouble?
There's a burglary taking place next door.
And what is your name, please?
My name is Mrs. Garfield. My address is number 56, 14th Avenue, Houghton.
Hutton. And where's the burglary? Number 54 or 58?
58. The people are away. They've gone to Plettenberg Bay for the holidays.
And what is your telephone number, please?
728-2941. It seems to be quite a gang. You'd better tell your men to be careful.
Are they in a car?
Yes. It's parked as brazen as you like in the street at the end of the drive.
All right, lady. We'll look into the matter.
You'd better hurry.
Lady, we always do.
12:40 a.m. A squad car containing Constable Murray as driver and Constable Kendall as his crew is patrolling the wilds along Houghton Drive in a northerly direction.
Smoke? No, thanks. I've just put one out.
Yeah.
I think we'll work through to Lubbock Avenue up in Bramley there. And we'll grab a cup of coffee at the Roadhouse, eh?
Fine. Control to car 9.
That's
Control
us.
to car 9. Come in, please. Over.
Car 9 to control. Receiving you. Over.
Where are you? Over.
The Wilds. Going down Houghton Drive. Over.
Get along to 14th Avenue, number 58. There's a burglary on the go. The robber's car, is said to be parked in a street. Over.
Received and understood. Over and out.
Right, we're on our way. "12:42 a.m. The squad car races to the scene of the reported crime. It takes less than 2 minutes to get there. Constable Murray switches off his lights and approaches number 58 cautiously. He has no wish to announce their arrival.
That's number 58. The one on the end.
But Control said there was a car outside.
It's obviously been moved. Let's stop here. We'll go the rest of the way on foot. Let's cut through this garden. We can jump over the wall.
Right.
Stick to the grass and keep off the gravel.
Hang on a sec.
What?
There's somebody over there in the shadow of that tree.
You go that way. I'll go this.
Okay.
All right. Come on with your hands up.
Don't shoot, it's me.
Come into the light where I can see you.
I live here. I reported what was going on.
Lady, stop waving that gun around.
What?
The gun.
Oh, sorry.
What's all the fuss?
Well, it's finished now. They've gone. They drove away as soon as I put the telephone down. You're too late.
We didn't waste any time getting here.
Oh, it was my fault. I should have phoned you sooner.
What are you doing running around in the garden at this time of the night?
Well, I felt I should do something.
Do you live here alone?
No, with my husband.
And where's he?
Oh, he's in bed. Flew.
In the middle of summer?
The birds have flown.
And they got away with a lot of stuff.
You'd better report in. Tell them it's a job for the robbery squad. 1:17 a.m. Lieutenant Anderson of the robbery squad Brixton arrives at the scene of the burglary in response to the report from Constable Kendall.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sorry we didn't catch them, sir. It would have saved dragging you out.
Nice thought, Constable. How did they get in?
No windows broken, sir. I don't know how they managed it.
Through the front door.
But there's a burglar alarm, sir.
There's been a spate of burglaries like this one just lately. There's somebody with them who knows alarms very well. Probably worked at installing them at one time. Always the same make of alarm. The Henderson system. I bet the door wasn't forced either.
No, sir.
Same gang, obviously. Have you contacted Norwood Police Station?
Yes, sir.
Now, who's supposed to be in charge while the owners are away?
Some people in 15th Avenue, sir. Constable Murray has gone over there to let them know.
Another holiday ruined. Oh, well, let's go and take a look inside.
8:32 a.m. The Bartisrand Divisional Headquarters in Commissioner Street. Lieutenant Anderson is in the office of Brigadier Pelser of the CID.
Another one, eh?
Yes, sir. Bearing the same stamp as all the others. Again, it was a house protected by a Henderson burglar alarm. It didn't go off when the door was skillfully opened. No fingerprints.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to Henderson's. I'm going to ask them to give me details of all the people who've been in their employ since the business began. I'll check each name.
A lot of work.
It's the only course open to me, sir.
They come and they go. Anyway, I've compiled the list you've asked for. As you'll see, there's plenty to keep you busy.
He works for Claxon Alarms now. Has done for some time.
Start to the business. Drive a car for the newspapers, shift work. Very interesting, though. Gets me out and about.
Yeah, I used to be with Henderson Alarms about 18 months ago.
Where are you working now?
I don't work now.
Why not?
I came into some money.
How much?
25,000 rand.
Legacy?
Yeah.
From whom?
An aunt of mine.
Well, we can always check your story, you know.
So check it.
Hotz. David. David Hotz. Have you got a record?
No.
Not yet, eh?
Look, get off my back, eh?
I haven't done anything.
Art, I'm going to level with you in the hope that you'll level with me. Everything points to you as the man I'm after. You worked for Henderson Alarms. You haven't worked since. You must be getting money to live on from somewhere.
Look, I already told you.
Yes, I know. Money from your aunt. Get your coat.
You can't take me in. I haven't done anything.
Which is your bank?
Bank?
I'd like to see your statement.
Well, the money's not in the bank.
Now, where is it then?
It's tied up in shares.
But you must have scrip for the shares.
Have what?
Look, Arts, stop messing me about. You've got no shares and you know it.
Well, that's no crime.
You'll be smirking on the other side of your silly little face when a judge gets through with you. You've got a lot to answer for.
Prove it.
I will. I think I'd better have a chat with your mother.
Hey, no. Wait a minute. My mother's not very well lately.
She worries about you, does she? Where is she?
She's out.
I'll wait.
She won't be back till very late this afternoon.
I'm in no hurry.
Okay.
Sit down.
I'll be off then.
Sit down, I said.
I've got an urgent appointment.
It's not as urgent as this one, my boy. Sit down. It's going to dawn on you soon that I mean what I say.
But listen, I don't run the show by myself, you know.
I know you don't.
There are 4 others.
Who are they?
Now, listen, I'll make a deal with you. I realize you've got the drop on me, eh?
Very wise of you.
And that you're going to arrest me here and now.
It's only a matter of time. In your case, a few hours.
Okay, I want to make a deal with you.
Go on.
I'll turn state's evidence. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
You can start right now.
But listen, if I do, the others, they'll kill me.
Divisional Headquarters, Johannesburg, the same afternoon, 2:10 p.m. Lieutenant Anderson confers again with the Brigadier.
And he's quite right, sir. If he sings to us, puts the finger on the rest of the gang, they'll kill him when they get out.
Isn't this Hotz just being a little hysterical, perhaps?
I don't think so, sir. And after all, Hotz has known them for nearly a year.
It's a tough one. Any ideas?
Only one, sir. And it's a little unconventional.
Let's hear it.
How would it be if we used Hotz as a means to infiltrate the gang?
Go on.
What if Hotz introduced someone to the gang? Someone who'd be useful to them?
I see. We get one of our men on the inside.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Do you have anybody in mind for the job?
Well, I'd rather like to try it myself, sir.
You?
I think I'd handle it rather well, sir.
Oh, I don't doubt that. But you're very valuable to me. How long do you think the operation will take?
I don't know, sir. I haven't thought that far.
How will you work it?
Well, I'll need a car, different from the type we normally use.
Oh, we could soon fix that through the quartermaster. What else?
And the car would need to be fitted with a concealed radio. If the car was used when the gang pulls a job, our people monitoring the radio would know exactly when to move in.
Yes. Yes, I like it.
And this way, the gang won't be able to attach any blame to Hotz.
And how will you gain the gang's confidence?
I think I've got that one figured out, sir.
All right. Suppose you want to start straight away.
I don't see any point in wasting time, sir.
Right. I'll set the wheels in motion.
(7:23 p.m. Kotzer Street, Hillbrow. Lieutenant Anderson and Dave Hotz are walking to a hotel where they have an appointment with the boss of the housebreaking gang.
His name's Gary Thurgood.
Has he been to prison?
I don't know. I don't think so. He never mentions it.
What is his speciality?
Oh, I don't know.
What's he good at? What does he do?
Well, he organizes things. He's the one who tells us when and where we're going to do a job, you know.
Who gets rid of the stuff?
He does, Thurgood.
Where?
Somewhere in Friederdorp. I don't know where exactly. I never went with him.
Now, have you got the story straight about me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is the place. In the lounge, eh? That's Thurgood there in the corner.
He looks tough.
He is. Come on.
Hello, Gary.
Hi, Dave. Gary, this is a friend of mine, Ray Anderson.
All right. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, sit down. Have a drink.
Thanks.
What are you going to have?
Whiskey.
How about you, Dave?
Yeah, same.
Waiter, 2 whiskeys.
Right, sir. 2 whiskeys. I brought Ray along to talk a little business.
Yeah?
He's in the same line as we are.
Is that so?
Leastways, I was. I've just done a stretch and boop.
What for?
For getting caught.
How long did you do?
18 months.
Yeah, it's a long time, eh?
Don't tell me.
How come you know about Dave?
I didn't. He knew about me.
Yeah, I used to knock around with my sister.
What do you do?
You name it and I'll do it.
Yeah, desperate, eh?
I could start on my own again, but I'd like to make the big-time stuff. And you can't do that single-handed.
What sort of big-time stuff?
Safes, banks, payroll robberies.
Too big for me.
I'm not going to try and to tell you how to run your business. I just want something to do, and something for doing it.
And what do you got to offer?
I'll do anything. And I've got a car.
Hot? Or yours?
Mine.
Where did you get it?
I bought it.
With what?
I had some cash tucked away before they picked me up. It was still there when I got out.
Yeah, if we had another car, we could take more stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines.
Try me. If it doesn't work out, what have you to lose? You mean I'm in?
Okay, you're in.
When do I start?
Friday.
Where?
It's a house in Birdhaven. I'll tell you all about it later when we meet the others.
January the 26th, 8:30 a.m. Lieutenant Anderson phones the Brigadier.
It's the night, sir. Birdhaven.
What's the address?
64 Ravenswoods Avenue.
How many in the gang?
Including me, 6.
Will you be using your car?
Yes, sir.
Good. I'll have you monitored the whole time.
If I may make a suggestion, sir.
Yes, go on.
If we arrange a trap in the house, we're going to smell a rat. Rather send a squad car while we're inside.
All right. You realize you may get hurt.
I can look after myself.
What time is the job to take place?
After midnight, sir.
Be very interested in how you make out. I think I'll come to Brixton and handle things myself.
Right, sir.
Oh, and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
January the 27th, 12:17 a.m. The Brigadier is in the radio control room, Brixton, listening to a receiving set tuned to the transmitter concealed beneath the dashboard of Lieutenant Anderson's car.
Slow down a bit. It's the house next to the end.
Is this Ravenswood Avenue?
Yeah.
I thought it was Wingfield.
Yeah, Wingfield's the next one that way.
Oh.
All right, stop here. That's it. Now, where are the others?
Coming up now.
Good. Come on, let's go.
Hand me that mic.
Here you are, sir.
Control to car 23. Come in, please. Over.
23 to control. Receiving you, sir. Over.
They're going into the house now. Give them 5 minutes. Over.
Very good, sir. Over.
You're not to shoot unless it's absolutely necessary. I don't want Lieutenant Anderson hurt. Is that understood? Over.
Completely, sir. Over.
Where are you?
Glenhove Road, sir. We're going down the hill and we'll turn left into Somerville Avenue. Over.
Right. There are 5 men in that gang. I want them all. Over and out.
12:23 a.m. The grounds of 64 Ravenswood Avenue, Birdhaven. The gang has effected an entry, and they're busy carrying the stuff they've stolen out to the 2 cars in the roadway.
Come on, hurry up. We mustn't hang about too long.
Oh, this stuff's heavy.
Wait a minute. What? There's a car. Quick, in the shadows here. Can you see?
Yes.
It's the cops. Oh, confounded luck. Now, what are we going to do?
Hang on, they've stopped. They're getting out of the car.
Look, the one with the torch. He'll see the stuff in the back of the other car.
He has. They'll be coming down to the house in a minute.
Get down.
Here they come.
Oh, one's going round the back.
about the others?
They can fend for themselves.
And the stuff?
Leave it. Come on, let's go.
They'll chase us.
Let's leave the car then.
Not a chance. I paid good money for that car.
Don't waste your time talking, man. Let's go.
I'll tell you what. You get in the boot of the car. I'll drive. We'll be less conspicuous that way.
Oh, great. Okay.
Come on. Just let me get the boot open. Inside, quick.
Right. Now, what's happening down at the house?
I don't know. Get down. Mind your head. And off we go. And here comes the law.
Stop! Stop!
Don't just stand there. Chase me. I suppose he's got his hands full with the other four. Ah, well, silly, but there's only one thing to do.
"12:47 a.m. Lieutenant Anderson drives his car to Flying Squad headquarters in Brixton. He parks the car in the road with the engine running, gets out, and sprints up the drive to the control room.
Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Where the devil have you been?
Coming here, sir.
What for?
I've got him in the boot.
Who?
Thurgood.
So what do you want us to do?
Send a car to chase me.
Oh, why didn't you tell me on the radio?
I didn't dare risk it, sir. I didn't want Thurgood to hear me.
Right, off you go. I'll have a car on your tail in 30 seconds.
Right, sir.
"12:58 a.m. The Brigadier orders one of the cars, which has been parked in the yard, out onto the road to follow Lieutenant Anderson. The driver and the crew have been briefed. They know what to do. They force Lieutenant Anderson to stop.
And where are you off to in such a hurry?
I've been to a party.
Is this your car?
Yes.
What's the registration number?
DJ 255697.
And why were you so anxious to get away from us?
Wouldn't you if you saw somebody chasing you?
Not if I had nothing to be afraid of.
Now, who's afraid?
What have you got in the car?
Nothing. You can see for yourself.
Yeah? And in the boot?
The usual. Spare wheel, tools.
All right. Let's see you open it up, eh?
You're wasting your time.
Come on, man. Out of the car. Like I said, open the boot.
I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. You'll see.
All right. And what have we got here, eh? What's all this?
I told you it was a joke. We've been to a party.
It's not against the law to ride in the boot of a car. I didn't say it was, but it's very suspicious. Oh, just a minute. TJ 255697. Tell me, were you in Birdhaven earlier?
Birdhaven?
Yeah. Just hang on. Have a look at my list here. Yeah, TJ 255697. There was a burglary in Birdhaven a little more than half an hour ago. This car was seen driving away from the house. The driver was ordered to stop, and he didn't. You're lucky you weren't shot. Come on.
Where are you taking us?
To Parkview Police Station to join the other 4. The gang, including Lieutenant Anderson, was brought to trial. Sentences were imposed on them ranging from 12 months to 2 years.
The elaborate play acting to protect Hotz was carried right through to the end. It was made known to the gang that Hotz and the lieutenant were being sent to the prison at Kronstadt, while Thurgood and the other three were imprisoned in Pretoria. Eventually, Hotz was set free after receiving a suspended sentence, and Lieutenant Anderson resumed his true identity.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting, in fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars. Listen again next Friday evening to another authentic story in our dramatic South African police series, Squad Cars. Brought to you by General Motors, makers of the biggest and most exciting range of cars, trucks, and commercial vehicles in the world. Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Beaumont, Chevrolet, Opel, Holden, Vauxhall, Bedford, GMC, and Ranger, South Africa's own car. Squad Cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved.
Johannesburg, outside the Magistrates' Court, July the 21st, 3:20 p.m. Squad car man, Warrant Officer Ruas, is standing on the steps watching the people leaving the building. At length, he sees the face he's looking for.
Joe?
Hi?
Joe? Hello, Joe. How goes it?
Oh, it's you. What have I done now?
No, I'm not here to pick you up.
Well, what did?
I told my wife about you. She made me parcel some clothes up and bring them to you.
Well, now there's a thing. You know, all my long life I never had anything for nothing till now.
There's a blanket in there, too. It'll help keep you warm a bit.
Well, why are you doing this for me?
Because we have a little more than you, and even after we've given these things to you, we'll still have enough.
Oh, I've never known such kindness. Why?
I just told you.
Yeah, well, there's got to be some other reason. You think I was hard done by?
I never believed you stole from that store. I thought the store detective was making a mistake. The manager was determined to lay charges against you.
Oh, I don't blame you.
I know you didn't. But I felt bad all the same.
No, it wasn't your fault at all. I never thought for a moment it was. I'm not one to bear grudges.
Anyway, we decided to keep an eye on you and watch your progress. I'm glad you got off.
A good magistrate, that. He knew I never stole them things. When a man gets to my age, he becomes forgetful sometimes. And when that big man stopped me at the store entrance, I was very surprised. He says, will you please accompany me to the manager's office? Well, what for, says I. You stolen that shirt and vest, he says. Not I says. Anyway, you're coming with me, he says, and that was it. Next thing I knew, you and that other policeman turned up, drove me to Parkview police station. I forgot, man, I had money.
You don't have to convince me, Joe. I know how it was. It was the manager's and the store detective's word against yours.
All my life, I never laid a finger on nothing that didn't belong to me. Well, I'm poor, I don't mind admitting that, but I'm clean and I keep my hands to myself.
Never mind, Joe, it's all over now. But my wife said that with all this cold weather about, you'd be needing something to put under your jacket besides newspaper. So she parcels these things up for you.
Well, I've never known such kindness. I thank you for it.
Look after yourself, Joe.
You will. Thanks very much. And tell your wife the old man sends his thanks to her, too.
August the 23rd, 8:43 p.m. Warrant Officer Ruas and his partner Sergeant Tudu have stopped their squad car at the scene of an accident on the corner of Bok and Claim Streets. They're in the process of trying to extricate the injured from the smashed vehicles concerned when Warrant Officer Ruas feels a tug on his sleeve.
What's happening here? Anybody
Hi.
Who's that?
It's me, Joe Lights.
Hello, Joe.
How goes it?
But not so good. These people are badly hurt.
Listen, man. You showed me great kindness.
Yes.
I haven't forgotten. And I'm going to do you a good turn. I heard them planning a murder.
All right, Joe.
They're going to murder the old man and his wife. I heard them talking.
Joe, I'd like to talk to you some other time, but not right now.
Listen.
Look. I tell you what.
What?
Meet us here this time tomorrow night. We'll be able to talk then.
All right,
okay?
On this corner. 8:45
and it will be better if you haven't had so much of a party.
Yeah, okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, you've got plenty on your plate, just now. Excuse me, please.
I think he's getting a bit funny, you know. It happens sometimes when people get old. Did you call an ambulance?
Yes, they should be here very soon.
Right, give me a hand with the steering wheel. We'll pull together. Right, you ready?
Yes.
August the 24th, 8:40 p.m. Having dealt with the disturbance in Plain Street, Warrant Officer Ruas and Sergeant Tudu are cruising towards their rendezvous with Joe Lates on the corner of Bok and Claim Streets.
Listen, what would Joe know about a murder?
I don't know. Seems odd to me.
Oh, there he is.
Where?
Over there, on the left.
Oh, well, he remembered. Pull up, Paul.
Okay.
Is that your warrant, officer?
Yes, it's me, Joe. How are you tonight?
Oh, better than I was last night. Better than this morning. Yeah, I was carrying a real bubble. My head and stomach was getting their own back for what I did to them last night. Yeah, that was a bad smash here last night, eh?
Yes, it was. The woman died in hospital.
They drive too fast these days. It's the youngsters. They see no danger.
I'm afraid you're right. I'm sorry I couldn't talk to you last night.
No, that's all right. I could see you was busy.
You said something about a murder.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
You said you heard somebody planning one.
That's right.
You're not setting us off on a wild goose chase, are you?
No, I wouldn't do a thing like that. I'm just wanting to repay a kindness. And when I heard of this thing, I thought, here's something for me old friend, Warrant Officer Ruas. Well, it was lucky I bumped into you. I was in two minds whether I should phone you or not.
So tell us. Yeah. Get in the car.
Yeah.
Out of the cold.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's much better.
So, tell me.
Well, of a night it was. It was bitterly cold, man. Now, during the day, I'd taken up with a man I met in Joubert Park. And he said to me they was having a bit of a party later that night. Well, he said he'd take me along. Now, it was in the boiler room of a place called Canaway Mansions in Dornfontein. Oh, nice and warm there it was. A lot of these Sherry gang people sleep there.
Yes, we know about it. Go on.
Well, anyway, we had this party, see, and it's too late to be going home. So what happens? This friend of mine suggests that I'd bed down for the night. Well, it seemed a sensible thing to do, so I did. Now, I don't know what time it was when I woke up, but I heard these two men talking.
Hobos?
No, they was youngsters. Early 20s, I'd say. What do you call these lads with the long hair?
Hippies.
No, they're okay. The others.
DuckTales.
Yeah, that's it.
Go on.
Well, anyway, they're thinking everybody's asleep, see? But I'm listening. Now, I make like I'm breathing heavy, you know, so I can hear them talking.
Yeah.
And the one is telling the other about this plot. I suppose you'd call it that, out Bryanston way. There's an old man and his wife, they live there, see, alone. Now, what was their names again? Wilkins, that's it. Now, apparently they got a bit of money, and that's what these two chaps said anyway, see.
Yes.
But they're keeping on the place, see.
So these two are set on getting at it, huh?
That's right, yeah.
Now, where is this place?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Somewhere out north.
You said Bryanston.
Yeah, I know I did, but I'm thinking now. was it Bryanston? And what's that other place out there?
Ferndale.
No, wasn't it?
Craighall?
Yeah, that's right, Craighall. Now, apparently, there's a plot or something by the river.
Shouldn't be too hard to find.
No, it shouldn't. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, well, these two skillums are gonna kill the old people, see, for their money.
When?
Oh, they talked about Saturday night. That'll be next Saturday, I suppose.
On night shift, too.
Are you sure about this, Joe?
Oh, I'm positive.
And how are they going to do it? Did they say?
Oh, no, they didn't go so far as to say that.
You're not having us on, are you?
Having you on? What, after what you did for me? Why would I do a thing like that?
Well, Paul's just checking, Joe. We don't want to go rushing out there on a wild goose chase.
Oh, no, you won't. It's definite. 10 o'clock at night, they said.
Yes, I think we'll have to arrange a little reception committee for them. What do you say, Paul?
I think so. Should be fairly interesting.
Saturday, September the 4th, 8:55 p.m. Warrant Officer Ruas and Sergeant Tadu, accompanied by a native constable, Thousand Sitori, having ascertained the whereabouts of the few acres of ground owned by Mr. Wilkins, are dropped by a police car outside the gate.
Well, Paul, it's certainly out of the way.
Yes, very isolated.
You see anybody about?
Oh, there's a light at that window, though.
Come on, let's go and see.
Hey, what are you going to tell the old man?
I don't know. We don't want to alarm them.
Hey, what's that?
An Alsatian.
You know, I don't know why they're worrying. With a dog like this to protect them, they could only be safe.
You think so, eh? Watch. Yeah, boy, come. Shh. Come, boy. Come on. That's a good boy. Come on. Come. You see? He barks to begin with, but we can quickly make friends of him. Now, watch this. Thousand?
Sir?
Come here. Make to pat the dog.
Oh.
Go on.
Hey, you will bite me, sir?
How can he bite you, man? There's a wire fence between you.
Your dog?
That's enough. That's enough, Thousands. Shh. There we are. This chap will be useless against tonight's visitors. He likes Europeans.
I see.
You stay here, Thousand, till we get the dog locked up.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Paul. Come on, boy. Quiet. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come.
You know, it beats me how an old couple can live in such an isolated place. I don't know, I'd be scared stiff.
You forget, Paul, that people haven't seen what you've seen.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll do the talking.
There's somebody coming.
Who's there?
Police, Mr. Wilkins.
What do you want?
Open up, please. We want to talk to you. Good evening.
Good evening. What's the trouble?
I wonder if you can help us.
Eh?
We need your help.
What for?
We want to set a trap. We'd like to do it in your kitchen.
Oh. Well, what's going on then? Is it chicken thieves?
Something like that.
Yes, of course. Come in.
If you'll just hold your dog until the police boy comes in, we won't have any casualties.
Oh, what? Oh, yes. Here, Caesar, come here. Come on. Now you can let the boy in.
Thousand! Sir, you can come in now.
It's, not often we have excitement in these parts.
Well, I think you'll find there'll be enough excitement later to last you a lifetime.
Wilkins Small Holding, Craig Hall, 9:15 p.m. The three policemen are in the kitchen of the house talking to the old man.
Where's your wife, Mr. Wilkins?
Well, we were just going to bed. She's through there.
Sorry to keep you up.
No, that's all right. Now, what do you want to do?
We'd like to get settled in the kitchen to wait for your visitors.
Oh, you know they're coming then, eh?
Yes, we've been tipped off. A police informer.
Well, just make yourself at home.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkins.
What do you want us to do?
You can go to bed. We won't be needing you. We just want to sit in the kitchen here.
Well, you're not going to be very comfortable. I'll get you some chairs.
Well, that's very kind of you. Don't put yourself to any trouble.
No, it's no trouble. There's nothing to sit on here. Nina.
What is it?
We've got visitors. Come and see. She'll be wondering what on earth it is. The only people who come here are my son and his wife. They sometimes drop in at the weekend.
Goodness gracious, what's all this?
It's the police.
Oh, yes, I can see that, but what do they want with us?
Nothing to be alarmed about, Mrs. Wilkins. I'm Warrant Officer Russ. This is Sergeant Tradew.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Is it our boy you're after?
No.
I was going to say he's a good boy. Never gives us any trouble.
He's too old.
So if it's not the boy, what do you want?
It's chicken thieves.
Oh, I didn't know we had any round here.
Apparently, yes, we have.
What will they get up to next?
Nothing to be alarmed about, Mrs. Wilkins.
But what's it got to do with us?
Well, it's just that your house is conveniently situated. They come down this way. We've heard they're coming tonight. We want to be on hand to meet them.
Oh, I see. What time are they coming?
Our information says 10 o'clock.
Oh, have you had something to eat?
Yes, thank you. We had supper before we came on duty.
Would you like some tea or coffee?
No,
I'm just
thank
getting
you.
them some chairs.
Yeah, Mr. Wilkins. Let me take that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to bed. I don't want to be in your way. If you want anything, you must just ask.
All right, Mrs. Wilkins. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night to you.
Now, here you are. Now you've got 3 chairs.
Sergeant.
All right, sir.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
They're not much an old man like me can do, so I'll be off to bed, too.
Don't be alarmed if you hear anything unusual.
No, that won't worry me. I'm getting deaf, you see. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Wilkins. Now then, Sergeant.
Sir?
Can you see the dog?
Just a minute, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. He's our early warning system. He's sure to bark when they arrive.
If they arrive. Joe Lades is an old boozer, you know. Perhaps he heard something, but he's got it all wrong.
We'll soon see. What time is it?
25 to 10.
Now listen. This is what we'll do. Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Put your chair behind the kitchen door. I think that's the way they'll come in.
Yes.
Even though the old folks keep it locked and bolted, it doesn't look very secure to me. A couple of good shoves, it'll be in. So you put your chair behind the door. Go on. That's right. You sit down. That's it. When they come, when they've opened the door, I want you to close it quietly. And then get down on the floor and use your body to stop them opening it again. You understand?
Yes, sir. Like a doormat, sir.
Yes, that's it. Now, that'll keep you out of trouble. That's all I want you to do. Close the door quietly, lie down across the bottom of the door so they can't open it again. That'll keep them in.
Yes, sir.
You'll also be out of the line of fire.
And us? What do we do?
Well, we'll take our chairs. Come on. And we'll park them in the pantry.
Is this headquarters?
That's it. Center of operations. Sit, Paul.
It's now 20 to 10.
And let's hope they pitch up on time. You settled there, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
And for goodness sake, when they come, you keep your head.
Yes, sir.
You don't panic. You do exactly as I told you.
Yes, sir.
Smoke.
Yes, thanks.
I wonder what they'll have with them.
In the way of weapons, you mean?
Hmm.
We won't know till they get here.
No.
Nervous?
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Nice old couple, aren't they? You know, what's the son doing letting them live off the beaten track like this?
I don't suppose it ever occurred to him that they could ever be in danger.
Yeah. Wait till we tell him.
I only hope we're not wasting our time.
10 p.m., 0 hour. With strained ears, the three policemen sit and listen. They hear nothing, and so they wait. 10:35 p.m. Sergeant Tadou shuffles to relieve a stiffness in his knee.
Listen.
Do you think it's him?
It's about time. How long overdue?
Sit tight, Sergeant. This sounds like it.
Yes, sir.
I wish there was a window in the building. There goes our early warning system.
He didn't worry them at all.
Just the way I said.
Shh.
Two of them.
Sounds like it.
Hey, they're right outside the door.
Thank heavens they didn't go around to the front.
What are they doing?
Shh. Look at the light from the torch through the fan light on the ceiling.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Hold tight. This is it. That door won't hold long.
One more and they'll be in.
What was that?
The door.
What do you want to go and do that for?
I didn't. I thought it was you.
Wait a minute. Somebody here. Shine the torch. See? Hit him.
No!
Hit him again.
What are you doing here, eh? I'll kill you!
10:39 p.m. In the excitement, Constable Thousand Sitoli forgot to close the door quietly behind the two intruders. The discovery of Sitoli and the subsequent beating all happens very quickly. The two policemen in the pantry run through to the kitchen.
Shine your torch, Paul.
There. Stand. This is the priest.
It's the cops.
Get him!
We've killed your boy. We'll kill you too like this.
My shoulder!
Next time it'll be your head.
Paul! The torch! Shoot! Shoot, poor man. Make a flash. Give us some light. That's it. See them?
Oh, let's get out of here.
Where's the door?
Nice shooting, Paul.
Hey, the other's by the door. Watch.
Yes, I see him. He's down.
Hello. Right. Let me put the light on. Good gracious me, what's all this?
Nothing to be alarmed about, Mr. Wilkins.
I thought I heard people clapping their hands or
There's
something.
been some shooting.
I say, they are in a mess, aren't they?
Hey, the constable's been hit.
Where?
In the stomach.
Let me see. He's not dead.
No, sir. I am not dead.
Must have been a ricochet off the wall. Let's get him to hospital.
We'll take him in my car. I'll go and put on some clothes.
Do you want me to go with Mr. Wilkins?
You better.
What did they hit you with?
This.
Wow. An iron-shot pick handle. Where did they get you?
My left shoulder. I think it's broken. Hit me across my right forearm, too. Could barely hold my gun. You?
Not a scratch.
My husband says you've made a mess in my kitchen.
Yes, I'm afraid we have, Mrs. Wilkins.
Oh, so you got them, eh?
Yes.
Skellums. Would you like a cup of tea?
Don't worry, Mrs. Wilkins.
Well, if you change your mind, just put the kettle on and help yourself. I'm going back to bed.
Amazing, eh? She didn't even bat an eyelid.
She didn't know they came here to kill her and the old man.
Yeah, there's no reason they should ever know. They'd never feel safe here again.
Right, I'm all ready. Now we can put the boy in the back. I'll just go and get the car out.
One of these monkeys is still alive. See?
Yes. His eyelids are fluttering.
Can't see any wound on him.
My back.
No, don't touch it, Paul. Can you move at all?
No, I can't feel my legs.
He's paralyzed. Must have got him in the spine.
No hard feelings. You mustn't feel badly about it. You see, I would have killed you.
The Bantu constable, Thousand Sitori, had been hit in the stomach by a bullet fragment. It had travelled round his ribs and lodged in his back, just beneath the skin. It required a relatively minor operation to remove it. The Bantu constable made a rapid and complete recovery. One of the two would-be murderers had died immediately. The bullet that struck him travelled the length of his thorax, went up through his neck, and came to rest in his brain. The other man, paralyzed from the neck down, eventually died in hospital some months later. Mr. Wilkins and his wife Rena never knew that they had been potential murder victims.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting, in fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars.
Listen again next Friday evening to another dramatic story in our authentic South African police series, Squad Cars. Squad Cars is directed by Colin Fish and produced by David Gooden.
Squad Cars. General Motors and their dealer organization throughout Southern Africa proudly bring you the drama, the danger, the thrills, and the facts when the long arm of the law travels in Squad Cars. The story you're about to hear is true. Details are supplied from the official case files by the South African police. Only names and places have been changed to protect innocent people involved.
Johannesburg, March the 14th, 4:15 p.m. Car 23 is heading back towards police headquarters from Orange Grove, following a report involving fraud and passing worthless checks. In the car, Captain Martin Lowe of the fraud squad tilts his cap off his forehead and leans back against the seat. A tired sigh escapes his mouth, and he runs the back of his hand wearily across his eyes. The driver, Sergeant Olaf van Heerden, permits a small smile of understanding to flit across his face.
You've had a rough week of it, Captain. What's it, 5 new cases this week?
Yeah, 5 new ones. Another half dozen from the week before. And there'll be more dockets before this month is over. You can bet your pension on that. The way people just ask for trouble, it beats me.
They're too gullible. A conman walks in with a big smile and a hard luck story, and they accept him at face value. Nobody asks about checking credentials or even asking to see the man's identity card. Fantastic.
Take this dress shop we've just been to. Girl comes in, neatly dressed, nice looking. She buys stuff for 16 rands. She asks if she can pay by check. What happens?
The owner's only too glad to get the sale. So he says, sure, the check's fine.
And the girl puts on her best lost look and says, can she make the check out for 20 and will they give her the change? Fine, says the owner, and he gets crafty. Just put your name and address on the back, he says, and she puts down Joan Smith, Berkeley Mansions, Hillbrow. The owner gives her the 4 rand, and she walks out with the 16 rands worth of goods. No identity card check, no anything.
No, and then he's surprised when the check bounces.
Not only is the name a phony, but there's not even a Berkeley Mansions in Hillbrow. And then I ask him for a description of the girl. He doesn't even know if she's got blonde hair or if she's a brunette, or if her eyes are green or blue. It's marvelous, isn't it, eh?
And in the meantime, the same girl has pulled the same trick at 5 other shops around town, all on the same day.
Nice. She gets all the goods she wants and 20 rand in cash. Lovely.
Control to car 2323, come in. Over.
Car 23 receiving you, Control. Over.
Captain Lowe to report to Colonel Brink's office at once. Confirm message received. Over.
Message received and understood, Control. Over and out. What time do you make it, Sergeant?
4:20, sir.
I'm a couple of minutes fast. Wonder what the Colonel wants. Trouble, that's for sure.
Aren't you supposed to be off this weekend, Captain?
Supposed to, yes, but don't put any money on it. When the Colonel sends out a message like that, you can forget about weekends off.
Car 23 loses no time in returning to divisional headquarters. Less than 10 minutes later, Captain Lowe enters Colonel Brink's office on the 7th floor and is told to take a seat while the Colonel finishes a telephone call. Finally, the receiver replaced, Captain Lowe is handed a sheet of paper with a serrated edge.
That came through on the telex from Australia, Captain. What do you make of it? Major Frobisher to Colonel Brink. Advise you arrive at your country 3 suspect felons on flight 313 this date. Jane Wilson, identity code J4465A. John Arthur Stevens, identity code P76A/492. Denton Frederick Mitchell, identity code C34B/661. Suspected attempt to sell forgeries of master paintings in Perth and Melbourne this month. Our investigations revealed no definite sales. On board same flight, crate of suspect paintings. No known apprehensions in Australia. Ends message. Thoughtful of Major Frobisher to let us know about these 3, Colonel.
Yes, but I'm not exactly happy about them arriving over here. Nobody carts around whole crates of fake paintings, unless they intend making money out of them. And I don't like that bit about the Australian investigations revealing, how did they put it again? Yeah, no definite sales. They're up to something, these 3. I'd be a lot happier if I knew what it was.
Did you get the Interpol identity files on them, sir?
Telex for them as soon as we received Major Frobisher's message. They should be through any minute now.
I see. What do you want me to do about them, sir?
Flight 313 from Perth arrives at Jan Smuts at 6:30 this evening, Captain. Wilson, Stevens, and Mitchell will be on it. As soon as they set foot in this country, I want them under surveillance, 24 hours a day. You better liaise with the custom boys to point them out to you when they come up for clearance.
No, that won't be any problem, sir. This surveillance, do you want it done discreetly, or should we let them know that we're keeping an eye on them?
Discreetly to start with. Give them enough rope at first. If they're going to try to pull something, they'll need a bit of breathing space. But don't lose them, Captain. Have enough men on standby to follow all 3, especially if they split up.
I'll take care of it, sir.
Good. Oh, it's now 20 to 5. The rush hour traffic will slow you down on the way to the airport. You better get moving right away.
A fact which is seldom appreciated by the public is that police forces throughout the world cooperate fully in sharing information about the movement of known or suspected criminals. Even as Wilson, Stevens, and Mitchell were winging their way towards South Africa, the machinery of international police forces was grinding into motion. The Interpol files yielded information on all 3. And even before Flight 313 touched down at Jan Smuts Airport, Captain Lowe had mentally digested the contents of those file cards.
Ons kondig aan die vertrek van vlug nommer 307 na Londen. Sal alle passasiers in besit van sitplekkaartjies asseblief deur uitgang 3 aan boord gaan.
Customs playing ball about pointing them out for us, sir?
All the way, Sergeant. Whichever officer they go to will be getting a signal. He'll pull his earlobe to tip us off. And I think we should be able to recognize them even before they reach the customs. I've got full descriptions of them. Jane Wilson is 32, blonde, 120 pounds, 5'6". Stevens is 41, 6'1", 180 pounds, black hair, worn long, grey eyes. Mitchell is 34, 5'10", 155 pounds. Pronounced scar on his left cheekbone, light brown hair cut short on the top, long at the back and sides.
What sort of a record have they got?
Well, Stevens is the leader. He's done time in Britain, Sweden and Italy for various fraud dodges. Mitchell's the charm merchant. He handles the selling side. Done time in Britain and Canada. One charge of fraud, one of armed robbery. Jane Wilson has a conviction for embezzlement in Canada. She's Mitchell's girlfriend. They've been together now for the last 5 months. Seems certain they are working some kind of a fiddle. What it is, nobody knows.
Passengers coming through the ramp gate now, sir. Heading for the customs counter.
They'll most likely be together, the three of them. Keep your eyes open, Sergeant.
There. Just coming through the gate now, sir. That blonde carrying the flight bag and the man next to her in the grey suit. Scar on the left side of his face.
Yeah. That's Wilson and Mitchell, all right. Could be Stevens behind them. He's tall enough anyway.
Stevens is hanging back, as though he doesn't even know the other two.
They must think we were all born yesterday. Bet they'd be surprised if they knew we were ready and waiting for them.
Look, the customs officer is tugging at his ear. So that is Stevens. Seems like they'll be keeping up this act of not knowing one another, sir. Shall I warn the men in the cars outside?
Yes, do that, Sergeant. We'll take care of Stevens. Have cars 19 and 41 keep a tail on Mitchell and the woman. And whatever they do, don't lose them.
The three teams of police officers fall smoothly into their well-rehearsed plans of action. Wilson and Mitchell order a taxi to take them to Johannesburg, where they sign the register of the Hotel Assembly as Mr. and Mrs. Denton Mitchell of Sydney, Australia. John Arthur Stevens takes the Airways bus into town, and at the rotunda hires a taxi to take him to the same hotel. He checks in as John Stevens of Hobart, Tasmania, and is given a single room on the same floor as Wilson and Mitchell. With the cooperation of the hotel management, the police arranged to have a Bantu constable employed as a cleaner on the same floor. A police car is stationed outside the hotel, and watchers take up their positions to cover both the front and rear entrances. At 8:35 that night, Captain Lowe reports back to Colonel Brink.
Colonel Brink, yeah?
Captain Lowe, sir. I'm at the Hotel Assembly. All three suspects have registered here. Wilson and Mitchell as man and wife.
That's not very bright of them. We could use that as a charge to throw them out of the country if we wanted to.
Have you got that in mind, sir?
Not at the moment, Captain. But it might be useful. What else?
Stevens is keeping apart from the others, making out that he's never seen them before. When they went down to dinner, Constable Tempo unlocked their rooms for me, sir. I went through their luggage, but there wasn't anything incriminating in it. Then I found a briefcase shoved on top of the wardrobe in Mitchell's room. It was locked, sir, but I managed to get a look at the contents.
What did you find?
A whole lot of blank share certificates, Colonel. Australian and New Zealand companies. Also a list of names of local businessmen and what I took to be contacts in Joburg.
Did you take down the details of all of them?
I did, sir.
Excellent. Bring them in at once. First, fake paintings, and now blank share certificates. There's something in the wind, all right. Something very crooked. But I'll tell you this right now, Captain. They're not going to get away with it.
March the 15th, 10:30 a.m. Stevens, Mitchell and Wilson remain under close surveillance by the police. Stevens leaves the hotel to check with the Airways authorities about the crate of paintings brought over with the same flight from Australia. He instructs the authorities to hold the crate until further notice. Mitchell makes several telephone calls from the hotel, details of which are given to Captain Lowe.
Mitchell has made several appointments with local businessmen and is to lunch with a Mr. Charles Grace, whose name had appeared on the list of contacts in his briefcase. Jane Wilson leaves the hotel and calls on 2 estate agents, making inquiries about furnished flats to rent. She rents a flat in Hillbrow and arranges to move in the following day. In car 23, Captain Lowe contacts radio control.
Car 23 to control. Come in, please. Over.
Control to car 23, we receive you. Over.
We are proceeding north on Twist Street, following suspect Jane Wilson in a taxi, number TJ133644. Looks like she's going straight back to the hotel. Please inform Colonel Brink that suspect has rented flat number 204 in Majestic Heights, Cromwell Street, Hillbrow, and will be moving into that address tomorrow. The flat has a telephone, number 443979. Please arrange a tap on that number as from tomorrow morning. That is all, Control. Over.
Message received. Over or not?
Definitely making for the hotel, Captain. The taxi's turning left up ahead.
Have you noticed Wilson glancing out of the back window?
No, sir. She hasn't moved.
Good. It's unlikely that they know we're onto them. Much better this way.
I just don't understand all this, Captain. These people haven't done anything. Why are we giving them such close attention?
It isn't what they've done that interests us. It's what they think they're going to do. We sent Australia details of those share certificates, and they'll be checking up on them for us. But you can lay odds that at least some of them will be fakes. We don't know yet how they intend disposing of the shares, but it's dollars to donuts they'll try something.
And the paintings in that crate at the airway, sir? What's all that about?
I'm not sure. But we had the crate open just after Stevens had been down there, and we've listed the contents. They're the same fakes as the gang had in Australia. Impressionists and a few of the modern Spanish school. Velacasas, Clave, Guddio, people like that. The newer paintings may be genuine, but not the Impressionists. Pizarro, Monet, and even a Degas or two. These all hanging in galleries or private collections all over the world.
But the Australians are sure they are fakes.
Yes, but we've sent cables to the various galleries and museums to check up on them for us.
There. The taxi's dropped Wilson at the hotel now.
All right. Drop me around the corner. I'll check up with the other squads, see if Mitchell or Stevens have left yet. You stay in the car. If Colonel Brink wants me, let me know about it immediately.
March the 16th, 11:42 a.m. Mitchell and Wilson check out of their hotel and move into the flat in Hillbrow, not knowing that the telephone has been tapped. Mitchell again makes appointments with various Johannesburg businessmen, and again he's followed wherever he goes. Jane Wilson leaves the flat and takes a taxi to a department store. Captain Lowe and Sergeant van Heerden, both in plain clothes, are accompanied by Bantu Sergeant William Molefe, dressed in the uniform of a Bantu chauffeur, and they follow Wilson to the hardware department. Her purchases are to be expected: frying pans, cutlery, and crockery for the flat.
Will that be all then, madam?
Yes, I think so. You've got the knives and forks in that parcel, have you?
Everything that's on the cash slip, madam. You want me to check it over for you?
No, that's all right, thanks. How much is it?
14 rand 75, madam.
Is that right? I'm not used to South African money yet.
15 rand. 25 cents change. There you are.
Thank you. Oh dear, I don't know how I'll manage all these parcels. Can I leave some here and come back for them?
Yes, of course. I'll keep an eye.
No need for that, ma'am. I've got my driver here. He'll carry them for you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Oh, not at all. My pleasure. William? Yes, sir. Take these parcels for the madam, please. Have you got a car outside?
No, that taxi that's double parked out there. I asked him to wait for me.
Just these parcels, madam.
Yes, thank you. Just those. Thanks again. I don't know how I would have managed.
Oh, don't mention it. Glad to oblige.
Cheerio, then.
Good morning, ma'am.
You handled that pretty smoothly, sir. But what's the idea of getting Sergeant Molefe to help her?
The closer we get to them, the more chance we have of picking up something useful.
Yeah.
And Molefe's a good man.
He's smart, all right. And quite an actor. Look at the way he's tipping his cap to her and putting on the charm smile.
Yes. And getting a tip for it. Never misses an opportunity to make a couple of bob, does he?
That's funny. He's talking to her. What do you suppose he's going on about?
Blessed if I know. Now he's frowning as though he's moaning about something. I wish we could hear what he's saying.
Well, now she's getting into the taxi. He'll be able to overhear what address she gives the driver. That will save us having to guess where she's going after this.
Come on, let's see what Molefe was going on about out there.
He's grinning like an ape. Something's killing him.
Well, Sergeant, what was all that about, eh?
I was just telling the madam, sir, that I was not very happy working as your driver.
You what?
I said you were too cheeky to work for, sir. And couldn't the madam please give me another job?
I'll be blowed. What did she say to that?
Starting tomorrow morning, sir, I am working as a flat boy.
With Sergeant Molefe in the flat with Wilson and Mitchell, the surveillance of the suspected trio was as comprehensive as could be arranged. Mitchell continued to arrange his business appointments, and each of them was carefully noted by the watching police. The days clicked by, and not for a single instant were Stevens, Mitchell, and Wilson free from observation of one kind or another. Sergeant Molefe, in the customary khaki cleaner's uniform, padded silently around the flat, making himself as inconspicuous as possible. Keeping his face blank and free from any telltale expression of interest, he had no difficulty whatsoever in picking up important snatches of conversation between Mitchell and Wilson.
Hey, Janie, I'm home. Where are you?
In the kitchen, Dent. Come through.
I think we've got ourselves a sucker.
Who? Who did you see today?
Guy called Malcolm Thomas. He's a big wheel in one of the gold mining concerns, but he's the sort of bloke who's always on the lookout for turning something crook to his advantage. Now, I dangled some of the Kalgoorlie Franchise Company bait, and he just about snapped at it.
Have you brought in John's name yet?
Oh, just casually. I mentioned that one of the company directors was in town, and Thomas could find out more about the company from him. He pooh-poohed the suggestion, said he only did business with people he could trust. But you can bet your bottom dollar that he's already been in contact with John.
And Charles Grace? Has he come to light?
Sure has. Just casually passed the word to Thomas that he might be able to lay his hands on a genuine Degas, one that had been lifted from a private collection in France. He said Thomas would pay almost any price for something like that.
Lovely. If we can make a quick killing here, it'll bankroll us for a bigger play on the Riviera. When do you see Thomas again?
Day after tomorrow. 2 days, baby, and we'll be rolling in the lolly.
March the 16th, 3:40 p.m. In the communications room at Police Headquarters Johannesburg, an overseas telex machine stutters into life. Standing waiting expectantly are Colonel Brink and Captain Lowe. They watch the words appearing, and a smile flickers over Captain Lowe's face.
In reply, your questions re paintings in possession, galleries, or private ownership. We advise 3 or 4 Degas originals stolen during 6-month period, January to June last year, all untraced. 1 Monet stolen private home in United States during same period. No information concerning Pizarro as yet. Inquiries continuing. Message ends. Well, 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 Captain. And what do you make of that kettle of fish?
Well, I'm not surprised, Colonel. In fact, I rather suspected something like that.
Did you indeed? Why?
The Australian authorities confirmed that all the paintings were forgeries, and that was expert testimony. But if that was so, they would only have a selling value if the buyer believed they were originals, and that they'd been stolen from the galleries concerned.
Yes, good thinking. All these people had to do was to make sure they faked paintings that had, in fact, been stolen. Then the buyer would believe he was getting a masterpiece, and he wouldn't be likely to boast about it afterwards.
Exactly like that, sir. Oh, by the way, we had word from Melbourne about those Australian and New Zealand companies. All the share certificates are genuine, except for the Kalgoorlie Franchise Company. The real certificates are used as bait to lure on a prospective buyer, who then finds himself saddled with shares in a company that doesn't exist. Very clever, Mr. Mitchell.
Now, hold on. Here's something else coming through from London. Let's see. Add 2, painting trio. Now, that's interesting, Captain. Yeah, very interesting indeed.
March the 16th, 5:41 p.m. At the flat in Majestic Heights in Hillbrow, Jane Spencer and Denton Miller are in exuberant spirits as they finish dressing for a night on the town.
Baby, we've got it made.
Are the fish biting?
Biting like they want hook, line, and sinker for dinner. Charlie Grace says he's been phoned twice this afternoon already, and Malcolm Thomas wants to know if the Kalgoorlie Franchise Company is reliable. Then, just as a casual afterthought, Thomas asked Charlie to get him a quote on the Degas painting. Do you think friend Thomas has a mild smell of larceny about him?
Mild? He'd stand out even in a fish market.
Hey, you expecting anyone?
No. Only Johnny knows we're here.
Oh, well, it must be him then. What's he calling around here for?
Easy way to find out. Answer the door.
Bright she is.
Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Denton Miller, isn't it?
Miller? Why, no, my name's Mitchell. But what is this? Who are you?
My name's Brink. Colonel Brink, South African Police. We have reason to believe that you're traveling under an invalid passport and that your real name is Miller.
Oh, this is ridiculous. You've got no right to barge in like this. I demand to see your identification.
Certainly, sir. This is my appointment card with photograph.
Ah. Now, look, Colonel, I'm sure we can straighten this out. There's just some misunderstanding. Somebody made a mistake.
That's right, Mr. Miller. You did. Captain Lowe.
Sir?
I believe you have something for Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir. For you, Mr. Miller, I think you'll find these are in order.
Well, what the devil is this?
Deportation orders for you and Jane Spencer. Or perhaps you know her as Jane Stevens.
Now, wait a minute.
We'll wait longer than a minute, Mr. Miller. Just as long as it takes you to get packed.
Now?
Now.
We announce the departure of flight number 307.
You don't waste any time, do you, Colonel? We get the full red carpet treatment. Personal escort all the way out here. I suppose you've arranged something similar for Johnny Wilson.
John Arthur Salvero, yes. He should be on his way here now, like you, well escorted. All of you will be on the next flight heading for London.
London? What good will that do you? We're not wanted in Britain.
No, I know you're not. But we received a telex about you people, and it seems that all three of you are wanted in Canada. The Canadian police hold warrants for your arrest on charges of fraud and embezzlement.
So? We're going to London, not Canada.
Think so? The British Customs will be waiting for you when you land. They're not going to accept your phony passports. Know what they're going to do? Shove you right back on the plane. And you know where the flight's final destination is? That's right, Mr. Miller. Montreal, Canada.
Waiting at Montreal National Airport was a reception committee of Canadian police armed with 3 warrants of arrest. When the London flight landed, Spencer, Miller, and Salvero were immediately arrested. Less than 2 weeks later, they all faced trial on charges of fraud and uttering. All 3 were convicted and sentenced to varying terms of imprisonment.
They prowl the empty streets at night, waiting, in fast cars, on foot, living with crime and violence. These men are on duty 24 hours out of every 24. They face dangers at every turn, expecting nothing less. They protect the people of South Africa. These are the men of Squad Cars. Listen again next Friday evening to another authentic story in our dramatic South African police series, Squad Cars. Brought to you by General Motors, makers of the biggest and most exciting range of cars, trucks, and commercial vehicles in the world. Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Beaumont, Chevrolet, Opel, Holden, Vauxhall, Bedford, GMC, and Ranger, South Africa's own car.